Welcome to episode 91 of the Wilderness Podcast. I am your host, Dilz, and joining me every single week is Deagin.
Hey, how's it going?
So we got a pretty hectic episode for this one. We got a lot to talk about. We got a bunch of changes are finally being put in place that we've talked about in the past. The whole game integrity changes, we're finally seeing some of those appear. A topic that we haven't talked about in a while, but we did talk about in length. We really marathoned it a while back. And issues with the servers being DDoSed. And then, of course, the big Deadman Mode tournament happened on the weekend. So we're going to be talking about that as well. And then one little quick mention that there is some shit going on in Runescape 3 that we will be talking about afterwards as well. Anyways, let's just get right into it. Deagin, what did you do this week?
A lot and a little.
Cool. Okay, that makes sense.
Still on that skill grind, you know. I hit 90 fishing, and then I guess we'll talk about, I guess it was part of an update that came out this week. Pretty much is like I'm pretty certain the Arty Knights nerf is coming out in like a week or two.
Yeah, they do keep teasing about it every Q&A for the past like 2 weeks or whatever, and they keep dropping little hints that it's gonna be should be just around the corner.
Yeah, I have a lot of like reasons why it's going to be coming out this next update that comes out. Was it the 8th or something? Not the 8th, the 5th.
Yeah.
So I stopped everything I was doing and I just grinded thieving in all my free time. And I actually hit 99 thieving today, so
oh wow, congrats.
Yeah, that was nice. Got the cape. Cape is pretty shit. I didn't realize how bad it was.
What is the buff from it?
Just gives you 10% chance on pickpocketing.
Oh, nice. So you can get back to that Arty Knights and...
Well, it's useless at 95. Like, it doesn't do anything once you're 95 plus thieving.
True.
I don't know. It's, pretty fucking useless. They should probably make it a little bit better, if I'm being honest.
Well, the thing is, they got 28 skills? Is that what we got in the game right now? 28?
Yeah.
We'll go with that number. They have 28 perks to put with each skill cape. And, you know what I mean? I'm sure it's kind of a pain. You don't want to make anything too overpowered, because then with the max cape, you get everything jumbled in together. And yeah, there's some capes that are way better than others. Some of them are just, as you said, yeah, completely useless.
Yeah, I mean, at least give me a teleport to, like, above the rogue's den. I don't know.
We do need more teleports.
Yeah, I don't know. There's, like, something. Like, there's...
But wait, above the rogue's den? You could just... Games necklace.
Yeah, you could. Or, you know, use your cape.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I don't know. But it doesn't matter. Just like if I ever want to like max in general or level up thieving, because at this point I never needed to thieve or level it up. I had 91 when I started the grind. You only need 91 for like the hardest elite diary. I could be wrong. There could be something else that I'm missing, but I think 91 is just the highest you need. But I was like, shit, if I ever decide to like max it out, I'm gonna be a little bit cheesed at myself while I'm doing pyramid plunder, being like, fuck, I could be watching movies right now, just not even looking at my screen.
Yeah, it's kind of like to each their own for that one. I tried to do spam clicking Arty Knights, and I just get so bored. Like I did a bit of it the other night, just because I'll get into it later, but I wasn't sure what else to do. So I did some spam clicking for Arty Knights. I put on some Nathan For You because there's a full season that I'm behind on that show. And I enjoyed it, but the whole time I'm just like, I could be doing something else.
It's thieving. I guess RuneScape in general, right? You could always be doing something else.
Yeah, RuneScape in a nutshell.
Like doing this grind, I totally see why they're changing Arty. Like, it's so busted where you hit 95 and even like, I'd say like 91 to like 95, like you're good. You know what I mean? Like, I banked once or twice because I didn't realize how many dodgy necklaces I should bring over food. You know what I mean? I just brought like 3 necklaces and I'd like run out but not really touch my food.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really easy. You get the right camera angle, turn on Windows mouse key, and you just sit there and tap and, you know, just look somewhere else. Watch like an hour or two movie and you look back like, oh, cool, I got 400k experience. Easy. It's, I don't know. In comparison to Pyramid Plunder, where like at max rates, you're getting like a little bit more experience, but it's max rate. So you have a Serp Helm and a Ferroceptor that you're charging up, and you're like being you know what I mean? Like it's just like, I don't know. RD9's a little busted. It should be nerfed. I was thinking that, like, keep in mind, I was thinking that on my way to 99, being like, this is total bullshit, and this is why I'm gonna get 99, because like,
Yep. Got 99. Time to make my Reddit post about nerfing the knights.
Oh, dude, it's. I'm happy I got it finally. Anyways, so that's pretty much it. I'm back on the fishing grind. I need one more level. I need 400k fishing experience. So that's like 4 hours of 3 ticking. It's not bad.
Cool.
I'll be getting like fishing, probably not tonight, but I guess like tomorrow because it's Canada's Day and stuff.
Yeah,
that'll be pretty dope. Nice holiday. But after I get that one level, I think what I'm doing next is leveling up my fire making, actually. That'll be nice.
Ooh.
I need 85, but I might as well just go for 90.
You might as well just go for 99. Get another 99 out of the way.
Yeah, I don't want to like just sit down and grind out one, like, because it's kind of like, what'd you do this week? Fire making. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of boring. So I'll go between 85 and 90. I'll probably hit 90 because of the Master Clue thing where you have to burn a redwood.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. I guess if I ever end up maxing, you know, I'll be like just hitting certain milestones, so it's not as like mind-numbingly like boring. I can swap between the grinds. So the plan originally was just to do 91 fishing, do the fire making and stuff, and then the crafting, and then get my Mortania elites done because those are all related to that.
Okay.
So like all these skills I'm doing are for like elite diaries. I don't know if I haven't specified that yet, but
diaries are always a good goal to have if you're like running out of things to do. The perks are super nice, and eventually you're going to want to get there.
And in general, like, if I ever plan on maxing, I think this is a good way to go. Because as of right now, I'm total level 2072.
Nice. Wow.
I will have base 80s by the time I'm done the elite grind. I think my lowest stat will be Hunter at 80 exactly, but I'm going to do Herbivore, hopefully to get the pet. Didn't get a thieving pet, by the way. I should probably specify I didn't get a pet.
That's probably common, though, right? You need to, like, you average out to a, like, 30 mil or something experience before you're supposed to get the pet, if I'm not mistaken.
We can actually do the math right now. 1 in 257,000. Jesus, that is way higher than I expected.
Yeah, you got a lot to go.
Times 84.5, 21.7 mil, and then what is 71 to 99?
Probably like 12 mil experience.
12.2 mil.
It's close.
Yeah, so I guess I have like 9.5 mil experience to go if I ever want the pet, but I don't really, so it's a little bit of a 50-50, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
But anyways, that's pretty much it. Didn't really do much this week. What'd you do this week, though?
My week, so I've been on vacation, so I've been doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So last week, I was working on my, similar to you, but I'm a little bit behind, I'm doing my Fremenic Elite Diaries. And I had got an 82 rune crafting a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago to be exact. And what I needed to get now was 80 crafting, so I went and got that. That was pretty easy. It's a little pricey, but you know, it's fast experience.
Did you do bodies?
Yeah, I did red dragonhide bodies. Yeah, it's good experience. It's just going to cost you a little bit.
It's really fast, a little pricey. That's why I elk them, because you make some money back, as opposed to just selling them in the GE.
I just sold mine because I couldn't be bothered. And then I needed to get 80 agility, and I was at 75, and agility is my least favorite skill in the game by a huge amount. I just really dislike that. I find myself getting bored so fast, and my experience just drops. So anyways, I started at 75. I got it to 77 before I tapped out. Well, I sort of tapped out. I went and checked the Elite Diaries just to double check I was needed to get 80. And then when I pulled it up, I realized, I had already done the Relica Agility course for probably a Master Clue. So I already boosted for that one, so I could just go ahead and skip that. So I'm sitting here at 77. Yeah, so I got my Fremenic Diaries done. I went ahead and did the Dagginoth King's tasks. That's the main reason I wanted to get them, so that the bones were noted. And I'm glad I did. I made like 2 mil off the bones.
Oh yeah, dude. You get the majority of your money from the bones.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's good. And yeah, Dagginoth Kings are kind of fun to do when you're doing it solo. You're kind of, I don't know, it just feels like you're always speed running each kill because right when one goes down, the next one's right about to spawn, so you're kind of rushing to get that guy killed. And then I got an Abyssal Sire task, and I've been slowly cracking away at that boss. I'm not a huge fan of that boss at all. I don't know, I spend like an hour killing it, and then I'm just completely burnt out from it, and I gotta go do something else. So I don't know. This week I've only got 100 kills, and I still got like 130 more to go.
Is there a specific reason why you're deciding to kill Sire?
Well, just because I don't have any reason to kill the demons, I don't need fast experience, because I mentioned before, I'm at 97 Slayer now, and...
What do you mean you don't need fast? You can burst them.
I kind of came to a realization, I was just thinking about it, like, I'm not in any real rush to get to 99 Slayer. Like, the level 99, it's sweet to have, but getting 99 Slayer might demotivate me from continuing with my Slayer tasks, obviously. I was just thinking, like, I don't know if I would continue doing them. I might do them just out of sheer boredom, but don't really see a reason to do it unless I need the points. Or if I'm doing certain boss tasks.
Yeah, you'd be surprised on how many people do post 99 Slayer because, I mean, the bosses and the money, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. The only thing I can think of is doing the bosses for, like, the pet and then the money with it. But there's always a better way to get money in this game than just doing the, just the Slayer grinds or whatever, right? You can go ahead and go do Vorkath or do Zulrah or do some raiding if you really want to get some cash. Slayer just always seemed like like an easy thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you get a task and you can basically AFK it. You can be watching something on the side while you're killing these abyssal demons. You don't really have to pay too much attention, but yeah, I just started thinking that when I get to 99, I'm probably gonna be demotivated on actually doing my Slayer tasks unless I'm doing the boss versions of those tasks. I figured I may as well do the bosses whenever I can. I should kind of slow down and not rush to 99 because, I don't really have a reason to. So if I get an abyssal demon task, may as well spend it doing Abyssal Sire. And if it takes me 2 weeks to do it because I get bored and I'm just kind of doing a couple kills every day, I guess, so be it. Like, what's the other boss that I'm going to be looking to do? Cerberus?
Thermo?
Yeah, Thermo, Kraken. All those bosses, like, yeah, but I'm not in a huge rush to get to them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I got, like, my pet and my bludgeon and stuff. It's by kill count 600 on the Sire, so I don't... And I have, like, an extra head. I already have the, like, Slayer helmet. The Abyssal Slayer helmet, so I have no reason to do Sire, but yeah, I would commonly get a task and finish it a month later.
Yeah. I think the problem is that it's just,
boring.
It's boring. There's so many sections where you're just waiting for the boss to slowly walk to its position.
Yep.
It almost seems like it's one of the first bosses they wanted to give it these new, like, test out their new mechanics. Maybe got a new mechanics J mod who's like, hey, I've played a bunch of MMOs. I'm going to bring that stuff into this game. Sire's going to be the first one where there's going to be all these different phases, and each phase is going to have a very obvious transition to the next one, but the transition's going to take, like, 5 seconds to go through, and not that big of a deal, but when you're doing 150 kills, it kind of starts adding up. And you realize there's a lot of downtime on that boss.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm in no rush to actually kill it because once I finish that task, I'll go to do the next task and like, oh, look, I got gargoyles. Maybe I'll do the gargoyle boss until I get the pet. Get some of that granite dust. Whatever. Not, like I said, not in a huge rush to get to 99, so I may as well do these bosses whenever I can. But it kind of brings me to my next little predicament that I've kind of realized this week is that I'm getting somewhat burnt out of RuneScape. There's a lot of things that I just don't feel like doing, and I'm constantly finding myself doing a very AFK skill just because I can do that while I do something else on another screen. Maybe play the Steam Summer sales going on, maybe play some of those new games that I've been having my eye out on, but I've been going hard on RuneScape for a really long time, and I feel like I'm getting to that point where just I need to slow down a little bit, or else next thing you know, it's going to be a week has gone by and I wouldn't have logged in at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was gonna say, that was happening to me like a couple weeks ago, and I just said, you know what? I'll give skilling a chance. Like, I'll go hard at skilling. Try and be, like, efficient, or, like, but not, like, force myself to do anything. Like, I like, 3-tick my fishing a bit, but then if I, like, start going, like, then I just, like, alright, just start AFKing it and go play another game. Same thing with, like, well, I guess smithing, that was kind of, like, I was kind of, like, holy fucking this hurry up, even though it was really quick.
It's a lot of experience you're going through, though. So it's going to take some time regardless.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, thieving, yeah. I was kind of, like, getting to 99. It's, like, 30k away. And, like, in my mind, it felt like I still had hours to go. I don't know why. Because you just do it all the time, right? Like, I don't know. It's a lot of just clicking. Like, in general, though, it's, like, nice. I got 99 thieving. I'll do a little bit of 3-ticking. A little bit of AFKing. And then I'll do Winter Todd. That'll be a nice change up. And then probably by the time I get burnt on Winter Todd, I'll be able to do a quick little crafting grind. And then it's like, okay, well, after that, then I guess agility's gonna suck because I have 5 levels to do that.
Oh, fuck that.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's still like they're all pretty different types of grinds. And so I'm kind of just like ripping through them all. And the way they're kind of spread out for me, it keeps the game kind of fresh. Like, I have done maybe like 100 Winter Todd kills on my hardcore Iron Man.
Yeah.
That was just me testing out some shit at Winter Todd. There wasn't like a Winter Todd experience or a damage calculator at that point. So I was playing around with the damage ranges and being like, if I make an actual Iron Man, how does it affect, you know, my how much damage am I going to take depending on my HP? Anyways, I don't know. It's kind of nice to just like have all these different grinds, and then if I really want to, I can do a little bit of prayer each day at the Chaos Altar, like before I go to bed or something. Do like 30 minutes of it in between everything and slowly grind that up because that's already banked. And then, you know, if I want to just super AFK, then I just go do Blood Runes. Easy.
I just find like playing RuneScape, you tend to go through these like little wave cycles. And you'll see it with people if you're if you're in a CC or something, or you're playing with a group of friends, you'll see it with them even where you notice a guy hasn't logged in a while, and the next thing you know, he's logging in all the time. You know what I mean? It's like these waves where right before and right up until Theater of Blood, I was going super hard. I was playing like any chance I could, grinding Slayer, my combat skills, trying to get as much money as I can to be prepped for it. It came out. It was awesome. And I'm like, okay, I want to do that. So I kept grinding and I kept going hard to get as close to it as I could. And then I started getting... You start getting, like, not bored, but you get burnt out where you notice your grinds are getting slower and slower because you're just not feeling it and you've been doing the same grind for weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I did like a 6-month grind of, like, Xerix pretty much. From, like, the new year. I mean, I stopped and did some Warcath and stuff, but typically my main focus was Xerix. And I was, like, kind of burnt because my main goal, I kind of failed what the actual goal was. Which was to get... I mean, I got max gear and shit for Theater of Blood, minus a T-Bow and Ellie, I guess, but I then found that I had no one to play with, and was like, oh, I spent all this time making money for what? And so that kind of burnt me out, because I don't know, I find myself, and I guess a lot of people get stuck in the mindset of like, this is the grind I'm doing right now, and I don't feel like doing it, so I'm not going to play the game. But it's like, you don't have to just sit down and grind money. You can always just sit down and do random skills. Like, hey, this is like, not like, 90 fire making would be pretty nice because then I don't have to train it. But I can stop at 75 or 85. I can stop at 90 or 99. Like, there's so many stopping points. And then, like, crafting, I mean, you do that in, like, 2 hours, 80 to 85. That's not bad. But it's the same thing with, like, all these little skills I have kind of planned. Like, I could do fishing to 91, but if I really want to, I could get it to 96 or 99. Like, there's like all these like little benchmarks you can stop at. You don't have to like force yourself to like, I need 82 mining, but I'll probably get that if I do 82 to 91 rune crafting. A lot of different unique grinds, and I think a lot of people kind of forget that because they get stuck in the mindset of like, I'm a low level, I want to be a high level, and they just sit there and like, all right, put on the fucking sweatbands, let's get our barrel gloves, let's hit like level 120 combat as fast as we can, and I'm bored.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get to the high level, and then you realize, all right, it's going to take me hours to start just to get one level in something. It's either going to take me hours or it's going to cost me a lot of money. And that's the kind of position I'm at right now where...
Well, it depends what you do, right? Some skills are really slow. Some are really fast. Some are slow and cheap or fast and cheap. Like, there's a lot of variation in like all the skilling. Like getting 99 thieving is decent. Like, it's 250k an hour it caps at, I think, at Arty Nights. And you make some money. I made like probably 10 mil. Close to 10 mil from 91 to 99, which is it's nice money for something I'm not even looking at, right?
It's something.
Plus, it helps that I had a bunch, I should have mentioned this before, but I had a bunch of dodgy necklaces stockpiled, and I bought them at 500 each, and they sold for 2.3k each.
Yeah, I've been buying them at a high price when I was doing it the other night.
I don't know. Sometimes it's like, it's kind of nice, like, if you just like, I don't know, like 3-ticking fishing sounds awful, but it's really not that bad, and you can stop whenever you want. Like, you're not forced to do anything.
But sometimes you do need to just kind of slow down, take a little bit of a step back from RuneScape, and realize that it's okay to take a break. You put so much hours into it. Now I'm at this position where I'm like, when I am playing on my own, I'm probably going to be doing something super AFK for no reason. Like, I'll be doing cooking just because, fuck it. Let's get 99 cooking because it's pretty AFK while I play RimWorld, or I play Undertale, or play just some other game on my other monitor that works well with AFKing, and it's a game that I've been wanting to play for a while, but I've just been so focused on RuneScape. But I do find that the times that I am having fun is just when I'm like bossing with a bunch of people from like the CC and stuff. Like, we had 6 people. We went to Bandos one of the nights, and it was a lot of fun. We got a chest plate drop. Actually, I got it in my name, which is awesome. I think it's one of the first uniques at God Wars. Might have been my second major unique from a boss in my name.
Not bad.
It was nice, and you split it. It's like 2 mil for everyone. It's not that big of a deal, but still, it's, you know, you're kind of breaking up the efficiency with just doing something that's social and that's fun. I've been taking some of the guys for their first time through the raid, through Chambers of Xeric. I'm not even really in the position to be bringing people and teaching them along the way. I got like 25 kills under my belt, which is, it's enough to know the fight, but I don't know all the tricks. I don't know all like the
tips and tricks.
Yeah, the tips and tricks to each fight. But still, it was a lot of fun, and again, it's not the most efficient way of doing it, you know? But you're kind of breaking things up, and it's kind of a throwback to the old days where you weren't doing things because that was the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically been my week. I've just been kind of in this rut where I'm, probably going to be woodcutting or something while I play something else, because I don't want to force myself to do the grind, because then that's where you just kind of really put yourself in a negative position when playing the game. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need to stick to something that's super slow while you play like Grand Theft Auto or Skyrim or whatever other game that it is that you want to play.
Yeah, I mean, in general, if you're not enjoying something, what are you doing why are you doing it? Unless it's like homework or something, like obviously fucking do that. I'm gonna go fuck if you don't enjoy it.
I'm just not gonna go to work tomorrow then, because I don't fucking...
Boss, I'm bored. Hey boss, I'm gonna skip a week of work. I'm burnt out.
Yeah. I've been doing this for like 5 years, and I just need a bit of a break.
It's the only job I've had in 5 years. I'm pretty burnt out. I'm gonna become a gardener for like a month or two, and I'll be back.
I don't want to quit. I just need to take I need a prolonged vacation. If you can keep paying me, perfect. Oh, that would be great. But yeah, that's basically it. Just did a whole lot of nothing, I suppose. A lot of dicking around on RuneScape this week, I guess.
Yeah. Shall we jump into the news?
Yep, because we do have a lot to talk about. We recorded like a couple days earlier and released it earlier last week, and it feels like we've been away from the podcast for like a month. So
yeah,
we better just jump into it.
All right, so this week everyone probably noticed the issues with the servers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The DDoSing and the DDoSing.
And lots of you looked at the worlds and you realized, why does half the worlds have -1 player in it?
Or like there's some people in the CC apparently typing messages that no one could see.
Oh, that was happening to me a bunch.
Yeah, or like I would see half a conversation and be like, what the who's this guy talking to?
Normally, you would see that message and then it would be followed up with, whoops, like wrong chat.
Yeah.
But this time it was like a full-on conversation and you're just like, am I getting trolled right now?
And then someone would ask, and it's like, oh, you guys can't see him talk? No. But I don't know, a lot of server disconnects. I pretty much just stayed in the Aussie worlds and AFK'd like fishing and shit, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people are getting really frustrated because you jump in NMZ, 30 seconds later servers go down. Now you know how I feel. That was my first couple months playing this game. Disconnect every 2 goddamn seconds. Anyway, so people were blaming Deadman Mode because this was the finals week, and we will talk about that a little bit more in detail.
So normally people expect it to be DDoSed or something, so they start blaming certain clans. Whether or not it was them, who knows?
There's literally zero evidence. It's just like, this clan does it, and it's like, yeah, probably. And then, wait, why do I agree with them? Well, because everyone says it. Has there ever been any evidence? No.
But has there been evidence that it wasn't them?
Yeah, exactly, right? The absence of evidence isn't evidence, right?
Yeah.
Or is evidence or isn't? I don't know. One or the other. They both work in this scenario, I guess. But the absence of evidence doesn't mean
isn't the evidence of absence.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever.
That good old Boondocks clip.
Yeah. So I gotta watch that show. Actually, maybe I'll do that. I want to rewatch that shit. Anyways, lost my train. Okay, yeah. So a lot of DDoSing. People were blaming a certain clan and saying it was all Deadman Mode related. But then someone posts on the subreddit saying that, like, this one staker has changed his name like 30 fucking times, all based around these DDoSes.
Yep.
And the method this is like, obviously it's speculation. There's no like, Jagex made a post saying it was definitely him, because it's impossible to prove who's DDoSing.
Yeah.
So the evidence towards him was the type of staking he was doing was DDS whip. So that's where you typically will DDS spec someone, and then you'll finish off with a whip. That's how it goes. And people do that because it's like a faster way of staking, and it's kind of more fun because you're specking someone, get those higher hits. And he was doing it for like 200 to 700 mil stakes, right? So it's a lot of money. And the whole idea is, if he was doing it, this is what he would do. He would find someone willing to DDS whip stake. He would obviously have like auto retaliate on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he would start the stake, click on the guy with his whip out, and then he would DDoS the server, so the guy fighting him would be just poking him with his dragon dagger while he's whipping him. And
they would get one DDS spec off, but that's it.
Yeah. And you're poking with a dagger versus a whip. Even if you max DDS, you're probably dead. I kind of hope he lost one, at least one, if he was the one actually doing it.
Have. Now I need to cut you off here because this is the perfect opportunity
for
to play our conspiracy.
Yeah, nice.
Originally, people were blaming this on the Deadman Mode clans were knocking down the servers to give themselves an edge for the tournament that was coming up the following Saturday.
Yeah, you find a noob walking around, or like a clan member, you just click on him, or like pot up and go for your specs, whatever, you jump him, DDoS the server, he can't retaliate, you have your overhead up, he's dead. Big advantage.
It is very common for these DDoSing issues when it comes to PvPing and the Deadman Mode tournaments and the seasonals and all that jazz. And then this got brought up with the staker who was changing their names.
Yep.
And if you think about it, doing it on this week, it's the perfect smokescreen.
Oh yeah, dude.
No one's blaming the staker. They're all looking at the Deadman Mode worlds and blaming that shit. It's perfect.
Yeah, dude. It's well thought out. Or what if it's actually Deadman Mode and they have a dude who's not actually staking anyone?
God.
And he's just changing his name like 3 times a day.
Holy fuck. That's the thing. Originally, they're all blaming the Deadman Mode tournament. This shows up and everyone's like, this is the perfect smokescreen. No. It's the smokescreen of the smokescreen.
Yep.
It was the Deadman Mode tournament.
It was actually one of us, just so we had something to talk about. We could just play this music. It's a real conspiracy.
Exactly. We don't get it played enough, so sometimes we have to hire some outside help, and, you know, it gets slow. Sometimes we have to get like 100,000 bots going, just so we have something to talk about.
Yeah.
We get a whole themed stream about them bossing all of our bots.
Mm-hmm.
So, quick little disclaimer. We're not actually DDoSing. We're not actually botting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, it would probably be some good publicity, though. I guess bad publicity, but bad publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
Help get the name out there.
Yeah. Little food for thought, though. That whole staker DDoSing thing. It's interesting. Was there a conclusion to it?
No.
Absolutely not. So.
No, of course. It's DDoSing. It's next to impossible.
What do we get as the players? Well, we get a dev blog saying, send them an email if you know anything. Protect your IPs.
Yeah. It kind of sucks, but what are you going to do, you know? That's what we spend our hard-earned $11 a month for. So, anyways, moving on.
Nice.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't really looked at these items in detail that we're going to talk about. Kind of a spoiler, we're going to move on to the Revenant Caves revisiting blog, which is potentially new items being added to the game. And I haven't done, like, usually when new items come in, I'll, like, sit down, look at the items, be like, okay, why are they choosing these stats? Try and find similar items and, like, pair it up and, like, try and, like, really go through and be like, okay, well, how, if I were to come up with this idea, because, you know, we're number one ideas guys, we have the best ideas.
Yep, I don't remember pitching this. Where the fuck are my rings? I pitched 1,000 different rings. I don't see one of them.
Well, they do have a ferocious ring.
No, I didn't pitch that one, though.
I know, but just pretend you did.
Yeah, okay, true.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna just pretend these are ideas. But, like, it's more of, like, if I were to come up with this item, what would be my train of thought? That's usually what I try and do. So, keep in mind, I didn't really do that this time around.
No cork board with the pins everywhere.
Yeah,
with
no Pepe Sylvia shit going on right now.
Who's that?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference.
Right, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you gotta watch that show. It's the best. Anyways, yeah, that's my disclaimer. So let's get right into it. There's more than just Rev Caves. We're not going back to early 2018 where it's like 2 hours of just Rev Caves, but we'll start off with this. So the first item that we're gonna talk about is Vigora's chain mace.
Cool.
I wonder first thing is, what the hell is it gonna look like? A chain mace? Is it just gonna be like you ever play Road Rash for N64?
Yeah, on the motorcycles.
Yeah, you just like whip people with fucking chains. I wonder if it's just gonna be that.
Well, I imagine it's just like a flail, but if they called it a flail, they're gonna be like either one, well, Varric said he got a flail, or they're gonna say, oh, so it's gonna be that flail we saw for the Theater of Blood that never came out? That really badass looking one?
Maybe it's a chain with like bear mace on it.
Yeah?
Be really good for Callisto.
It'd be alright. I mean, it wouldn't kill it. It would piss it off, and hopefully it maybe just run away.
Yeah. Run to the safe spot.
Yeah, run out of the wilderness, maybe.
Yeah. So what is this chain maze? Okay, wait, there's some lore. You wanna touch up on this lore?
Ooh, some lore. My favorite. Alright. Vigora was the creator of the Slayer Tower, and the only human among the Empty Lord's trusted generals. During his many conquests, he wielded a great chain mace against his foes. After his death, his chain mace was claimed by a follower of Zamorak, who used it extensively during the God Wars. Although the God Wars are long over, many participants still cling to this world as revenants. Among these revenants, the wielder of Vigora's chain mace can still be found.
So, this chain mace is a tradable, one-handed flail that can deal additional damage to wilderness NPCs. It has stats similar to that of a dragon scimitar, but when charged with the minimum of 1,000 revenant ether, or ether, depending on who you are.
I think it's ether.
I call it ether, but some people call it... Yeah, anyways. An additional 50% melee accuracy and melee damage boost is activated versus any NPC in the wilderness. This effect will stack with either Slayer Helm or the Salve Amulet equipped, but does not allow both of them to stack. So this includes the imbued versions of the amulet and the salve. 1 ether is used per hit. Even if a hit misses, it'll still be used. And any revenant ether stored within the chain mace is always dropped on death within the wilderness. Biggity bam. The poll question is, should this be in the game with, the ether activation fee, I guess. I don't even know what you would call it, but the ether bonus, the 50 accuracy and damage, a boost against NPCs. Blah, 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 blah. That isn't a poll question.
Interesting.
So it's got a 3.6 attack rate.
All right, so I just quickly put in the numbers because, apparently it's 50% stronger, which means the melee strength will be just under 100. It looks like this Vigorous Chain Mace will be on par with a Durok's Great Axe.
Plus the accuracy though, which is like pretty big. And if it's stacking with your helmet or, salve amulet.
I'm looking it up right now, and so it says it's going to be 50% stronger. So if it has 53 stab, that means it's going to have 76, 78 stab afterwards, right?
Yeah, something like that. I should say you're going to be using the crush bonus though.
Yeah, the crush bonus. So it'll be 90. Anyways, it looks like it's going to be, basically on par with the Durok's Great Axe. Because I'm looking at the stats of the two. They both have the same attack speed. No, sorry, that's a little wrong. This Great Axe is a little bit slower. So this is going to have the same stats as the Durok Great Axe, but it's going to be a bit faster. It's going to be as fast as a battle axe. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be stronger than a tentacle whip, but it's still going to be a bit slower.
Sorry, hold on. Wait. We have to clarify something because I just realized this. I might have phrased this wrong. So it's not a strength boost. It's a flat damage boost.
Oh.
Here, let's look this up.
Let's crunch some numbers.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to just use my fucking stats and stuff. Okay, so 32 with my stats, 99 strength and shit. 32, 50% bonus. So you would be doing what? 40 or 40? Yeah, 40. Why can't I think right now? 48 is the max hit?
It's not that big of a deal. Especially the fact that it's slower than a whip.
Yeah, it's 1 tick slower than a flail. So just kind of use that as a reference. Because immediately, so this is what I'm thinking. It's 46 at 99 strength, piety, super strength, potion, all that stuff. That's pretty decent. I think it's really nice considering it's this. And I don't know what the attack level requirement will be. It says DSim, so I'm going to assume 60. That might be bad to assume. It's also so when it says 50% melee accuracy, I'm going to assume it means the attack stats will be 50%, but maybe it'll just be a lot more accurate. Anyways, the main thing I like is that you can use it as a crush-based weapon, and it's got prayer bonus, which means it'll be really nice for Callisto. You won't be forced to wear full Verax anymore.
Well, ideally, right?
Well, this item could potentially change the meta of you bring in Verax and you just shred. The main thing that's nice with Verax is that you have a 1 in 4 to go through the defense.
Yeah, that's the big one, right?
Depending on how we're looking at what 50% accuracy means, it doesn't because it's damage, I don't really want to think that accuracy just means you'll get 50%, you'll get 33.5 attack bonus onto a crush, which brings it up to 100 bonus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like this might be an alternative to, instead of bringing full Verax and getting jumped by a team and getting upset, you could potentially bring this. And the reason why I'm comparing this to Verax so much is that Iron Men have no reason to go to Revenant Caves except for notable shit. Right?
Yeah.
But the entry, let's just pretend, let's play pretend. You want to grind out, I don't know, GP from the emblems, maybe Dragon Plate Legs, just random alkables and, noted shit. It's kind of useless to spend this time finding a Bracelet of Ethereum and all this shit for an Iron Man. And then, the whole entry to do the Revenant Caves is kind of a bitch. But then on the other hand, if you want to do Wilderness bosses like an Iron Man, or just as a person, you have to go get full Verax.
Callisto probably isn't the best example because he has the highest, he has his defenses. Crushed is his highest.
But I'm pretty sure he's weakness to crush. Or wait.
He's weak to slash.
Oh, is he weak to slash? Really?
Yeah, and then stab, and then...
Oh, his attack style is crush. Oh, okay.
It'll be interesting to see where this comes in play. Vedian, maybe, but like... we'll have to see.
Yeah, Vedian's weakness to crush and style. But the main thing is that... The point I'm like getting at is that you have to put in 1,000 ether, which... Yep. If there becomes a meta of like a certain boss or just in general, like you probably would want to use an item like this just to do Wilderness Slayer because it stacks with your helmet as well, or your Salve Amulet where Vedian is weak to a Salve Amulet and a Crush, so this would make Vedian a little bit nicer. But the main thing is that like I was using Callisto. I guess Callisto's a really bad example, even though yeah, I guess Callisto's a bad example. But if you kill someone in like full Verax or some shit, right? Typically you get nothing because they're going to be protecting their flail, which I think is the cheapest item.
Yep. And
you're just killing them for the wilderness items. Or if you fuck up and don't protect it, then you just kind of like lose your item and now that sucks. But this kind of gives you like, you're kind of guaranteed to at least get the ether.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the GE prices, they went from like 30 to 100 just from this, and when this updates actually, if these items actually implemented, like I'm pretty sure they all have some sort of ether sync in one way or another. Pretty sure all these items have ether. Yeah, you're kind of guaranteed like with a minimum of 1,000 ether, you're getting something worth it plus the items they drop. I feel like I don't know. I kind of like this.
I like it too. It's a cool idea. I'm interested to see where it will come into play.
If we pretend like, make pretend and you're doing Wildy Slayer. When I do Wildy Slayer, I'm rocking those monk robes, the mask, like a B ring and like a glory and a whip. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to 3-item or 4-item. You kill me. Oh, I was doing Hellhounds and you got my monk robes. Congrats. Maybe an emblem if you somehow call me at an awkward time, but typically I'll get an emblem and just go bank it. So it's kind of nice where I see this as something that I would rather bring because this will really make like Wildy Slayer like a good way to farm up some points. I think it's like a really nice thing for melee stats, and you have a better chance of actually getting shit as a PKer. So yeah, anyways, I think it's kind of neat.
Me too.
Cool. Let's move on to the next item then, which is crossbow. Nice. Not like cross, but like CRAWS sorry.
Like a crow.
Yeah, or like a, depending where you live, crawfish. I know it's not how you spell it, but people say cray or craw. Doesn't matter. Anyways, want to hit us with that lore?
Yeah, bad name. Of all of Armadyle's followers in the God Wars, few were more formidable than Craw. What a perfect name for an Armadile thing. Craw.
Cree and Craw?
yeah. An expert with the bow, Craw, personally eliminated some of Armadyle's greatest enemies. When the God Wars ended, Craw was one of the many soldiers killed in the destruction of 4 and 3. Now, an undead Craw can be found among the revenants of the wilderness, still wielding the trusted bow that helped them in the past.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just kind of break the Craw meme, but so Craw's bow is a tradable two-handed bow that can deal additional damage to wilderness NPCs. It has the same stats as a magic short bow and imbue, that's kind of neat. When charged with a minimum of 1,000 ether, an additional 50% range accuracy and damage boost is activated versus any wilderness NPC.
Kill.
This will stack with Salve or Slayer Helmet, even if they're imbued, blah, 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 blah.
But not both.
The bow does not use any ammo, much like the crystal bow. Instead, it relies on the use of Revenant Ether stored within it. 1 ether equals 1 hit.
Or miss.
Or 1 attack, I should just say.
Yeah.
Any ether stored in the bow is always dropped on death.
So, similar to the chain mace, like the idea, I think this one is a little bit better because you're not going to have to use any ammo with it. But again, will be nice to see when it comes into play, or where it will come into play.
Bigger risk, too, than an MSB.
Yep.
Pretty much the same thing. I think Venenatus is weak to range. Hope I'm not getting its attack style and its weakness mixed up like with Callisto. Yeah, Venenatus weakness to range, so maybe you won't be just spamming it with those crossbows if you're safe spotting it, and you'll be able to use your crawbow. They gotta change that name. That is such a shitty name. Oh my god.
Terrible.
It's like they're putting in like these weird memes in the wrong places, you know?
Yeah, cross bow. It's funny.
Anyways, yeah, we'll move on. I like this. Same thing with the chainmail, the chain mace, except it's ranged. Yeah, changes up Wilderness Slayer pretty much. I feel like a lot of these are geared towards Wilderness Slayer and like 1 or 2 bosses within the wilderness.
Yeah, maybe just low levels who want to go do revenants and other things like that. Those green dragons might have a new meta going in at them.
Yeah, and then we have Thamarons. The Thamaron Scepter.
Cool. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. Do you want to hit us with that lore?
Oh, you know it. During the God Wars, one of Zamorak's most trusted allies was the demon Thamaron. A member of the Tutsaroth tribe, Thamaron's abilities were near unmatched amongst his kind. While primarily a melee user, Thamaron was also a highly proficient mage, and his magical scepter was as dangerous as Thamaron himself. This scepter was eventually lost during the Battle of Uzur, and was later claimed by one of the many warriors fighting in the war. Now, the scepter can be found among the Revenants, ghosts of warriors killed in the God Wars.
Yeah, so the scepter is a tradable one-handed mage weapon, deals additional damage to wilderness NPCs. It has the same stats as a Master Wand, which I found a little surprising. But when charged with 1000 Revenant Ether, an additional 100% magic accuracy, and a 25% magic damage boost is activated. This effect will stack with the helm or the amulet, blah, 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 blah. So the scepter can be used much like the Master Wand, though it cannot auto-cast ancient spells. Each spell that is cast using the scepter is 1 Ether.
So my understanding is you still need to bring runes to cast things out of it.
Yeah, so you would be... It's not like a trident. It's like a new staff.
I like the idea of this one, but I think because of the fact that you're going to have to bring your runes, it might be less used than the other two.
Yeah. The accuracy and the damage boost is actually pretty nuts, though. I'm trying to think. Hobgoblins isn't in multi. Are there any Slayer tasks that are in multi that you might be like, I want to barrage this now? Probably not, though. I don't think there's any.
Skeletons? I don't know.
Are they in multi, though?
I'm sure there's a group of them somewhere.
The only thing that comes to mind would be...
Spiders.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is like the odd time where you'll like go to like a Scorpia and you need to ice barrage them, so you swap off your trident and then barrage. But like that doesn't make any sense. And you're not going to use... It only works on wilderness NPCs. Like it's super accurate and the damage bonus is pretty nice.
Maybe like the Rogue's Castle. But the thing is like a PKer's wet dream right there is to see somebody just barraging with this wand. And they're going to be like, hey, now I'm going to get more than a spade and maybe a glory.
Yeah. There's going to be something really weird and obscure that comes out with this item. I just know it. There's going to be some weird ass shit. Like, so the only thing I can think of is, so, when you're doing like Kriara and you're throwing chins, you want to throw the chin at the melee minion because his defense is applied to Kriara. Now, does that work in the wilderness? Can I barrage a fucking NPC that's next to a player, and will it hit that player with the damage and accuracy bonuses that are applied to the NPC?
True. I don't know.
And even then, that is so situational. Is that even possible? Like, I don't know if that's a thing. So,
I mean, in all fairness, if you can pull that off, I think, yeah, go for it. Get that extra damage.
Yeah.
You're going to get half the cases that's going to happen. The guy's going to be like, oh, fuck, I'm scalded. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
If you've ever done Scorpio or Scorpia with some friends and that person does an ice barrage as somebody else runs underneath it and he's like, crap, now I'm scalded, that's probably what's going to happen. You're just going to accidentally skull up and then you're going to have a panic attack for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I don't really see, I mean, they kind of have to add, if they don't add a scepter, people are going to go, well, where's my mage scepter? What happened to mage? But I don't really think this will be used. Dragons, maybe? Green dragons, or just dragons in general? I don't know.
Lava dragons, maybe, if you want to use mind runes on them.
I was thinking like lava dragons too, but
It's a hot spot.
you're way better off with the trident.
Well, you do see lower levels doing like mind runes. They're doing like fire strikes.
yeah.
I mean, it's sketchy as fuck, but I don't know.
I mean, there are a lot of PKers there. I feel like if you're lower level, you probably die a decent amount. Enough to probably make this not worth it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm not saying that I feel like it just, the scepter doesn't work. And then we'll move on after I say this. Or, like, if you have something like a closing statement, I guess. But, like, I feel like this like idea of a scepter just doesn't work in general because typically you're not, like, casting spells at NPCs minus, like, maybe green dragons or, like, yeah, lava dragons, but you're either like a low level where you're doing something like Chaos Bolt or Fire Strike, and you bringing this means that you're probably not going to make that much money, or you're going to lose it, or you die early on and you just lose your bank and now you're fucked. I'm not saying these are going to be like a couple hundred mil, but they're like not going to be 5K. Or if they made it into a trident, then that is just way too overpowered. Like they can't just turn it into a trident because now that's amazing and you're going to like use that shit all the time.
Maybe they should have made it like a shitty trident where it casted ether but did a lot less damage. You know what I mean? This way you're gearing all these items for lower levels who want to be able to take the risk and maybe make some nice and easy cash.
Yeah, I like that. I like it. Keep it under, like, well, it's kind of hard because trident scales off of magic. So it's kind of hard to balance without keeping a high magic level on it. You could, maybe give it like a 50 or like a 50 level, like magic level and just like hard cap the numbers.
Or you just make it similar to a trident, but make it shittier. So like, I'm never going to want to bring this into the wilderness to kill lava dragons because I can wield the trident instead. And when I die, I'm not going to lose anything from my trident. Whereas this, you die, you lose all the ether. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Who would be using this? Would I be using this? I have all of the items that would probably work better in place of these ones. So these aren't really geared for me. But maybe somebody who's a bit lower level doesn't have the money yet, but they still want to go to either Rev Caves, they want to go to Green Dragons, they want to kill Lava Dragons because they want to make that extra money because there's no other good alternatives at their level.
The main thing is that regardless, this is more risk than a trident.
Yeah, but the way it is right now, it's a lot riskier because you got runes you got to bring with it.
Yeah, it's way riskier and it's not as good. No venom effects, which are huge. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. I don't like this item. I honestly just don't think it really works. I think I like your idea of making it like a shitty trident or like a low, not shitty, but like a more accessible for lower players or geared towards like lower players that are just entering like Wilderness Slayer because. I mean, you might see it a lot. Like, you might hear me say a lot that, like, it's if you're in the, like, early levels and you want to grind Slayer, just do Wilderness Slayer. Just suck it up. You're going to die a couple times. Do Wilderness Slayer. Get those emblems. Get those points. Unlock the Slayer helmet as soon as you can. Like, you can have, the Slayer helmet and shit unlocked by level 50 Slayer if you start from, like, 9 after the Varrock Museum. Like, you can get some good money. Dude, some guy in the CC found someone that was dead and there's, like, 600k on the ground. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But like the emblems you get, which are really nice, they're, and I feel like these items should be promoting like a lower level, being like, I'm going to take my chances, go in the wilderness, get my points quicker, even faster. This could be like the best Slayer experience you get until you're a higher level and you unlock Neve and stuff, which I do like though, because risk versus reward, right?
And at higher levels, you don't necessarily need to take these risks. We don't need to go do Revenant Caves because we have so many better alternatives like Zulrah, like Vorkath. You know what I mean? Like there's way better money maker. Yeah, the Chambers of Zarek and Theater of Blood eventually.
Yep.
Lower levels are the ones you primarily see out at Rev Caves doing Green Dragons, Lava Dragons, or Wilderness Slayer because they're getting that emblems because lower level Slayer is terrible money.
Yeah, you can either kill, some bears, get some good experience, or you kill crawling hands. You get some bad experience as well, but less points. You know what I mean? Like,
That, and then there's always that chance of the emblem drop.
Yep.
Which is, 100K, which at a low level, that's always nice to have. You start collecting those up, and you know what I mean? It's great. It's good to get at lower levels.
Yep. Yeah, easily make a couple mil. Anyways, so that is pulled. These same with the previous item that was pulled, but yeah. The next one is the Amulet of Avarice.
Oh, rad.
Avarice? Avarice? Oh, I don't know. Amulet of Ava. Yeah, you want to hit us with the, wait, is there even lore to this?
I was about to say, let me do it. Within the Revenant Caves are a plethora of NPCs. They're taking a really weird direction with this lore. Many of which are killed frequently for Wilderness Slayer tasks. Man, they're really taking this game literal.
Yeah, wow, they ran out of lore here. Huh. They could have called it a corrupted, I guess they don't want to use corrupted items, because pre-EOC, they want to maybe not associate with that as much. Anyways, whatever. So yeah, within the Revenant Caves are a plethora of NPCs, many of which are killed frequently for Wilderness Slayer tasks. It's no secret that a lot of these wilderness activities are a trade-off between risk and reward, and they want to further extend that with the Amulet of Avarice. So the Amulet of Avarice provides the same stats as a glory, as an Amulet of Glory, and within the added ability of causing all drops within the Rev Caves to be noted while it's worn. This includes non-Revenant NPCs also in the cave. The downside to this is that the player is constantly scald while wearing the item. If removed, a normal 20-minute scald will remain.
Very interesting.
So it's a glory that keeps you scald, and it only works within that whole Revenant Cave against all the monsters in there. Blah, 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 blah.
So, black dragons are in the cave. Looted black d'hide and black dragon, or just dragon bones. Not bad. You're scald. That sucks. What are you going to bring? Well, who knows? Maybe you're going to want to bring one of the previously mentioned weapons, because when you die, you're going to drop 1,000 ether anyways.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to bring both of these. It doesn't really matter if you're scalding, going to lose the weapon, because maybe the weapon's not going to be worth that much. Maybe the ether is going to be worth way more than what the weapon's going to be. Interesting. Cool idea, I should say. Doesn't seem overpowered. Might be underpowered, but
it is a really neat idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really, I would have never thought of, maybe I would have thought of it in like 8 hours of bitching with you about what items I could bring in. But like, it's a very unique item, is all I'm saying. I don't think I could actually think of an item like this. It's really cool. I'm kind of torn though, but I'm not. So this is the thing. If clans are hitting Revenant Caves, they hit the Revenant NPC section. They don't really look at like the dragons and the, well, that's pretty much, well, there's dragons and what? There's demons?
Some demons, dragons. It might be worth pulling it up right now. We do have the power of the internet in front of us, so let me check.
There's black dragons, which are like north of the Revenant Caves, so keep that in mind. There are greater demons, ice giants, black demons, Ankus, lesser demons, and green dragons. I think green dragons are the ones to really look at, because they're in sub 30 wilderness.
Yeah, teleport.
Yeah, teleport. The other ones are all kind of like blah. I mean, the black dragons would be dope too, but you know, clans are running past that nonstop and through that.
Mm-hmm.
The green dragons are like, I think there's a group of them in 20 wilderness, and there's one that's just above 20. So depending on which section you want to go to, you could be just getting a one-click Varrock teleport, you know what I mean? And just, I'm outie.
Yeah, I think this is a perfectly reasonable item to bring into the game, especially the fact that there is green dragons there. So, 1, you can teleport easily, or 2, if you get PK'd, whoever killed you is going to be getting all your items because you're scald, but also all your noted items that you just dropped. I think this is a perfectly good item to bring into the game.
Exactly. Literally, this is all I can think of right now is like Venezuelans and green dragons.
Yeah, that's the two go hand in hand.
So I feel like if you bring this, I think this kind of is trying to combat Venezuelan gold farming.
I think this is going to cause the Venezuelan gold farmers to become skilled enough to have to teleport when they see someone, because they can now bring this and they can get way better money in this cave. But again, they're really risking that food on the table that week. So they're going to need to teleport when they see someone. Now, this is going to show that the Venezuelans who are passionate about their ventures within the... Yeah, they're living and doing things in Gil in order to get money for living. It's going to really separate the ones who care and the ones who are just putting in time. They're just showing up. They don't give it... they're not going to try much harder. They're just going to look at... Bob down the street. I think Bob's a pretty common Venezuelan name. He's going to look at Bob down the street and be like, so what are you doing? You're killing green dragons? Show me how it's done. Nah, I'm not really going to pay attention. I'm going to watch Netflix on the side.
I mean, let's be real. They play like 4 accounts at once. It's not what we think. They're playing like 4 or 5 accounts at the same time.
So they're going to have to be just that much more skilled to get out of the wilderness when they see them.
Yeah. Well, the main thing is that 1, green dragons are not overcrowded, but they're populated. 2, if you're a PKer, you're killing them for fun. You bring a looting bag, get a full inventory of bones and shit, whatever. That's cherry, that pays for your supplies. But typically you go there because they're easy kills, and it's fun to just go in and kill people that are easy, I guess. Right? I'm assuming that's the only reason why you would go there. Maybe practice your switches, but really it's just easy kills. Here, yeah, it's very risk versus reward, and the thing is, it helps, it's more geared for the player that, wants to do green dragons, but, they actually want better money, and they're, they don't really have an issue getting PK'd, because they're oh, I'm getting attacked, or, someone's waiting to jump me after this dragon, I'm gonna tell you out,
Yeah, they're taking the chance, and having to pay a little bit more attention. What do we got next?
Yeah, so we have the Ferocious Ring. It's risk versus reward. It offers the same stats of that to the unimbued Frenetic rings combined, with the added effect of increasing your accuracy and damage for all combat styles the deeper you are in the wilderness. Ooh.
Sounds pretty good.
1 to 9 wilderness is +1 accuracy and damage. 10 to 19 is 2 to accuracy and damage. 20 to 29 is 3. 30 to 39 is 4. 40 plus is a 5% accuracy and damage bonus. If you wear it, you are constantly skulled, just like the amulet. And if removed, 20-minute normal skull timer will remain. Dude, kind of off topic, but not. I could see some weird-ass scam being like, dude, check out this ring, wear it. Bam! You're dead. You know what I mean? You trick, this is a new skull trick. Dude, look at this item I just got. You'll put it on. Teleblocked. You teleblock them first, or I don't fucking know. You drop it. I don't know. There's some way to get them to put it on and try it out, and then you just make them skull. Shit, I shouldn't have said that. I want to try that now, if this ever comes in the game. I don't know how much of a buff this is. It's got some decent stats regardless, and then being deeper in the wilderness is pretty big, and it's for all attack styles. So I feel like if you're PKing, this will normally you if anyone's PKing, they have a ring of dueling.
Dueling or recoil?
If you're deep wilderness, you're gonna bring a ring of dueling.
Why?
I don't know. I've always done it just for you teleport to I'll use my seed pod to 1-click telly, and then I can just teleport to Castle Wars or to Clan Wars, but I'll do Castle Wars. It's a closer bank. But typically I see people wearing rings of dueling just because it's an easy ring that you can kind of teleport anywhere with your 1-clicks. With your seed pod and
Ring
shit.
Ring of recoil is where it's at, though. You get that extra 40 damage off?
40 damage, but then it breaks, and now you don't have a ring. 40 damage isn't really that much, especially if NPCs that hit you also do damage, and either you're dead or they're dead by the time the ring is worn out. You know what I mean? You don't really get the full use of it. I could be completely wrong, and but everyone I've either killed or been killed by, well, I guess if I've been killed by, I don't know, but every time I've gotten to a fight in the wilderness and they're PVMers will bring a Zerker ring and shit, but PvPers, I'll kill them and 9 times out of 10, they either have a ring of dueling or they just don't have one.
Recoil just shattered. No, I don't know. That's weird. But yeah, I'm glad that PKers will be able to have they're going to be getting an item that they can use. This seems pretty good.
I don't really think PVMers will be using this. Depending on the price, you might just bring it with the amulet if you're getting... But, I don't... Because you'll be, 30 to 39 typically, or 20 to 29?
I think this is going to be one of the big drops from the Rev Caves. You don't got to imbue this. Same with the amulet. You don't got to imbue it with Ether.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is what you're gonna want when you're going PKing, because like, especially deep wildy, 5% accuracy and damage. It's nice for all different combat styles. It's not crazy strong, but still, when it comes to RuneScape, you always want that 1%. They all add up.
Yeah,
so, yeah. I don't see a problem with this one.
The one thing that's nice is that if you kill some dude in salads, that his spec weapon's like a AGS or something. Like that's the worst, where you fight someone who like is in like Zarek or something in shitty rags gear, but they have a good spec weapon, and you're like, okay, well if I kill this guy, I'm still gonna get like a couple 100K, not that much, and he's got a pretty big advantage with his spec. He can ramble me out pretty hard. This will at least be like, well, if you got a ferocious ring, and it's probably gonna be a big drop. I think you're right on that, like one of the major drops. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty neat. I like it. Might add to the risk versus reward, I guess. They have an item geared towards PVMers that skull you, and one towards PvPers that skull you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So the next one, I guess, is a little bit different, eh?
Yeah.
So with the recent introduction of surge spells from Dragon Slayer 2, there have been more players utilizing the standard spellbook, but one of the most common frustrations they have is that there are no effective freezes. The ancient spellbook, most players opt to use an Ice Barrage, level 94 spell, hits up to 30, 20-second freeze, blah, 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 blah. So with the standard spellbook, the equivalent of that is level 79 Entangle, and it does up to 5 damage, freezes for 15 seconds, if they aren't using Protect from Magic and stuff.
And it's a single target.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Yeah, Ice Barrage is a 3x3, but yeah. So they've recently pulled the changes that Protect from Magic no longer reduces the binding effect of Entangle, but the question failed. So they had an alternative option, which is a brand new spell called Restraint. So it's an activated spell. You got to get a spell scroll that would drop from a Revenant NPC, and once activated, you would permanently unlock Restraint, which is an upgraded version of Entangle. So you would need 5 Wrath runes, 10 fire, 10 earth, and the Restraint can bind enemies not using Protect from Magic for 20 seconds, and with Protect from Magic, it'd be reduced to 15 seconds. You get 89 experience if you hit it. Max hits an 8.
Okay, yeah, this seems fair. When I had originally read it, maybe I just read it wrong, unless I did some ninja editing. Hold on, let me check. Okay, when I originally read this, I read it as that it was also a 3x3 spellcast. I think this is good. It's perfectly reasonable. A lot of people are worried that suddenly Ice Barrage is going to get used less, because with this one you can still use your teleblock, and then now you have this new snare, but you lose the damage, right? It's not going to do as much damage. It would deal up to 8 damage.
Yeah.
It's nothing, really. Whereas Ice Barrage, it is like a nice fat hit sometimes. I don't see... I think this is reasonable. I don't see why the people who are going to be using Ice Barrage are still going to be able to use it. It's just this will still... For people who are worried about people teleporting, now you have a better snare.
So this is kind of how I feel. The standard spellbook in general is geared towards killing PVMers, not PvPers.
Yeah, with the odd spell being only PvP.
Yeah, but what I mean is if you're using this spell in the wilderness specifically, if you're in standard spellbook specifically attacking people in the wilderness, you're going to be looking for people that aren't PvPers.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough.
So you're going to be using teleblock so the guys can't run away from the boss. Restraint, to keep them in place. My main reason is that the amount of runes you have to bring. So you're going to, let's pretend you're bringing what's it called? Fire Surge?
Yep.
And then Fire Surge, teleblock, and then Restraint.
It's a lot of runes.
Yeah, teleblock them, do damage, and then keep them in place. So you have to dedicate 3 inventory slots, or like a rune pouch, but, three rune slots for law, chaos, and death. And then, there's 3 for Fire Surge, Wrath, Air, and Fire, but you could probably just bring a Fire Staff, and I mentioned that because Restraint, sorry, let me pull that up again. Restraint is Fire and Earth, so you could bring Dust Runes Wrath Runes, Law, Chaos, and Death, and then you have a Fire Staff. But that is still a lot of inventory slots to be taken up. It's not as much, and you're using like a combination rune. Like I think that's like the most efficient way you could bring or like to save inventory space. But that's still what 5 inventory slots dedicated to just runes alone out of your 28.
It's a fair bit.
It's a lot, and so you're not going to be fighting other PvPers because you're going to be way like disadvantaged with your inventory. Plus, you're forced to camp your mage robes more. You have to cast teleblock, then entangle them, and then fire surge them if you're going to continue doing damage.
And you're hoping none of those splash.
Yeah, and you're also in, like, you have no defense. They can just ramble you out or just deal some crazy damage. Yeah, I feel like this is way more geared towards just killing PvMers, which I'm okay with. So it's not like, wow, I should just be bringing this to go kill other PvPers. It's like, no, dude, bring Ice Barrage. They're gonna tell you whatever. That sucks. Maybe bring someone to TB. But like, if you're looking to fight other PvPers specifically, you're gonna be at a big disadvantage with standards still, and you should be. I feel like this should be for PvMers, like killing those dastardly rune crafters. You know, those guys that are skilling the like one of the worst skills in the game.
Make it even harder on them.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, I like this. Oh, did I mention you need level 89 to cast this? Probably should mention that if I didn't.
Okay, yeah, so that seems in line. Yeah.
Next one is free-to-play teleblock. Again.
Ooh, it's coming back. Yep, third time.
Yeah, historically, I think this might be the most specific pulled thing.
Yep.
The recent launch of free-to-play PvP Worlds in April had led to a lot of calls for teleblock being made in free-to-play. They're not keen on repolling it yet, so they want you to bring forward an alternative. So what they're offering is Revenant NPCs have a chance to drop a teleblock scroll, and this would allow you to cast it on another player in free-to-play without the required runes. Sorry, let me just say that. Only, in members and in free-to-play. Whoa.
Free-to-play only item.
I was going to say, what the hell? That's weird. So I'm assuming it would work like Dragonstone Charge. Like it's like literal scrolls that you stack that you just use on people, or like you just get the free runes for teleblock. You will need 85 magic.
Once it works or it doesn't work, it gets destroyed.
Yeah. So you need 85 magic to use it, and you have to be on the standard spellbook.
And it would never splash, it says.
The block would last for 1 minute, regardless of Protect from Magic has been active or not. So it's going to be always reduced teleblock. Always a reduced teleblock. You'd have to use the scroll on another player. And a player that had been teleblocked via the teleblock scroll would be immune from the effect of another teleblock scroll for 1 minute. So you could not layer them, I'm assuming. The 1 minute immunity would not apply to spellbook. You could still cast it.
Interesting.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, let me say this again. Wait. I worded this wrong. So the 1 minute immunity does not apply to the spellbook variant. So you can use the scroll to get the 1 minute teleblock, but then someone else can do like an actual teleblock for like that you're using the runes with onto a player, and you can blanket that. So you could have a TBer reliably teleblock people at Rev Caves for you, even if it's for a minute. You know.
Yeah, that's not bad. I think this... I don't know if I like this actual way of doing it. I believe that teleblock should be available in free-to-play. I'm not saying they should just go along and put it. They've pulled it, and this is the one question that I can't understand why it gets voted no. The only reason I can think of is the classic meme of PvMers spite voting, which I usually don't I don't always agree with that. Normally, we talked about it before with the PvP armors back fucking whenever, a couple months ago, when they first brought on these really strong armors to Rev Caves and they got voted no. Tons of people were crying. PvMers are just votes or spite voting to like they don't want these to come into the game. But a lot of it was you'd see the PvMers being like, not just that, these items are way too fucking strong.
Yep.
The teleblock one, I don't understand. That's the one that makes me that stumps me a bit.
So, do you want to know what... The only thing I can think of is why people would vote no is if you're any type of Iron Man, but like obviously more geared towards hardcore Iron Man and Ultimate Iron Man, or you're a high level PVMer and you're like gonna risk bank running to a boss. What some people have done, or what they do, is they log into a free to play world, and they bring like, you know, maybe swordfish or anchovy pizzas, and then they like will walk to where they have to go in a free to play world. If they get attacked, they have overheads that they can just throw up. They have it's really hard to kill other players in free to play. It's super easy to tank from like 40 to 20. Like just the damage, you don't do that much with a scimitar, blah 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 blah. A lot of reasons. And adding teleblock will make it that like you can't really do this reliably anymore, because the main thing is you just walk to 20, click, you know, telly out.
Yeah,
you're safe.
True.
And so I don't think it's common though. I've never gone to a free to play world and then ran to where I have to go in members and log in, or scout and then log in. But I know people have done that. I've seen, like, I have buddies that do that when they have certain clues that they're doing, when they want to go do like KBD or something. I guess KBD is a bad example, but they'll bring like really good gear and they'll like walk with like free to play emergency like shit. And then they go on an alt scout just to be safe, jump in. It's not that efficient, but it's like, hey, I'm a little bitch. I don't want to lose my Iron Man items or something. Like, yeah, this is how I'm doing it. But I don't think that's enough to actually vote no. I think that's stupid. I think it should be in the game, just in general.
It's hard to say. I don't know the exact reason. If you out there are listening and you know, like, or you have like a very strong opinion against this for free to play, let us know, because I'm genuinely curious. I would like to hear the arguments on the other side. I just can never find them.
Yep.
So that's what makes me confused. I always see people saying how this would be such a good addition to PvPing and free to play. Never really see people on the other side of things being like, this is why it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. The scroll idea, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I get it. They can't just pull the question a third time. They got to think of a new alternative to bring in free to play teleblock. So whatever, I guess it works.
So there's like two polls. One's, you know, should the Revenant NPCs drop them? And then there's another one that says, should the Revenant Caves be accessible to free to play?
Huh.
Yeah, so the caves would only have free to play NPCs, and the drops would the only drop Revenants would be, whoa, what is this? Apart from the Revenants, okay, let me say this again. Holy shit. So the first poll question is, you know, the whole teleblock thing. But then poll question 8 is, if teleblock scrolls add to the game, should the caves be accessible to free to play? The caves would only contain NPCs that are available and non-members, apart from the Revenants. And the only drop from Revenants would be the teleblock scroll. So that makes you think that they want this item to be kind of common. Like a decent common drop.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I really wonder why they would want to do that. Makes you... I mean, if it's free to play, you want to be able to farm them up in free to play. I get that, but I don't know. Kind of weird. What does that mean? Like, do they have ether bracelets going to the game now? And ether?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, weird. They shouldn't have pulled this question yet. They haven't really... I don't think they've really thought it through. I think they're just like, well, might as well. Anyways, we'll move on though. To another item. So this is... How do you say this? The barbed rete or the barbed reet?
Rete sounds good. It's a desert-styled weapon.
Yeah.
Rete sounds a little foreign, so that's interesting.
Yeah, if I could roll my R's, I would, but...
Rete.
Oh, nice. There's some lore. Hit us with that lore.
I guess the lore guy came out of the bathroom for this item.
Yeah.
The rete was a weapon utilized by bandits that hailed from the Caridian Desert. Known to be fierce followers of the Empty Lord, they were frequently sent on snatching missions to disrupt the growth of Zamorakian forces after their leader was betrayed. Many met untimely ends all over 4 and 3 during these missions, and their ancient nets eventually found homes within the caves of long dead warriors.
Yep, so the barbed rete is a tradable offhand requiring 60 range to be equipped. When the rete is charged a minimum 1,000 ether, a special effect, it's a trap, good meme. very up to date. Can be used by right-clicking it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Similar to how the Dragon Fire Shield special effects work. On a successful It's a Trap hit, the opponent will be unable to move for 20 seconds and will be poisoned. This has a 15-second cooldown and costs 10 Revenant Ether per charge.
Interesting. Seems pretty unique. I think I like it. So, little bottom part that kind of explains it a bit better. The accuracy of the barbed rete special effect is based on your opponent's range defense, scaling from 0 to 500. And the weight, scaling from 0 kilograms to 50 kilograms. Your opponent can reduce the time they are held by attacking the player who has trapped them. Each attack will remove 5 seconds from the overall time. Example 1. If a trapped opponent attacks back with a regular dart, after 4 attacks on rapid, they will be able to move again. Example 2. If a trapped opponent attacks back with a crossbow, after 3 attacks on rapid, they will be able to move again. I don't know why they had to have 2 examples there, but okay, cool.
I think they just mean by hitting them reduces the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No need for any examples, really.
If I hit you 3 times, I can move, but if I hit you 4 times in a different time span, I can also move. But if I don't hit you at all, I can move, but after a longer time. That's pretty much what they're saying. So, okay.
You're going to want to bring 1 throwing axe. You're going to want to bring 2 darts and a crossbow with 1 bolt.
Yeah.
This allows you to escape from 2.5 of these. It's Jagex math.
So, this is kind of neat. I don't know why you get poisoned. Okay, I know why you get poisoned now that I think about it. So this is like, I'm assuming this item was made to keep like PBMers in mind. You know, you're sitting back, you're crossbowing like a dragon or crossbowing a bear, Venenatus, whatever. You're just sitting there. Some dingus shows up, you know, he rolls up on you, you get TB'd, you're getting run down. You throw It's a Trap on them. And you escape, and now your opponent's poisoned. And he goes, oh, fuck. Anyone got any anti-poison? Okay, let me go bank and go grab one.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of, like, you're not going to just run around getting poisoned. Does it say what the initial poison tick is?
No, it doesn't.
Weird.
So regular poison's what, 6 damage, I believe?
It varies. Depending, like, I don't know.
But like from like a DDS?
Couldn't tell you.
Anyways, whatever. I'm sure it doesn't really matter too much.
Keep in mind, I do like this, is that all your attack styles with this barbed rete, like, worn, reduces all your attack styles by 10, except for range, does 0, and you get 2 range strength, so it's not, like, good to just have it around all the time, unless you're specifically, like, camping a crossbow or something, or maybe you just equipped it and throw it out on someone. Kind of a weird item, but I like it. It's neat. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's good.
Stats are pretty shit, so keep that in mind. And you can only hit opponents, right? You can't hit NPCs? If you can hit NPCs, I might have a pretty big problem with this.
Well, it does say... no, I don't know.
Because I don't know if poison is neutral damage or not. So, like, in the game... Oh, sorry. In the game, if you, like, attack an NPC, because I'm assuming if like this is implying that you can use this on NPCs. I don't see it saying that you can only hit other. It just says the opponent. It doesn't specify like that you can't use this on NPCs or anything.
Why would it matter if it's NPCs?
It's very niche, but it would help specific account builds get pets by cheesing it out. So like I'll explain it in a sec, like pretty much now. So if you're able to do It's a Trap on someone, even like on like a boss or something, just for the poison effect, if the poison damage is neutral, that's not a big deal. Or like the quest boss is neutral, it doesn't really matter. Because so like there's 2 types of damage. Obviously, there's like the damage you do, and there's neutral damage, which is like vengeance. Like if we're both killing a boss, and I do 500 damage, and you do 520 damage to the boss, but I did 100 in vengeance, it'll still go into your name because vengeance doesn't like count as my damage. It's just damage that happened to the boss. So if poison works the same way, you could potentially cheese out some quests and some bosses by like just throwing this poison on them and just waiting. Which I know in like certain communities, getting pets with certain I mean you need 60 range, but like Omni Maulers cap at like 67, so they're going to be able to get like free bosses and like kill count on certain bosses, which, I mean, it's a lot of time, but it destroys the current meta of how you do that, which is RNG and going in big groups of people and spamming vengeance on one person. But, like, it could be problematic for, like, that niche hardcore community, but I'm going to just assume it's only other players, because
Well, even if it was NPCs, they do say the special effect is based on your opponent's range, defense, and weight.
Yeah.
Some bosses will have really high range defense, as well as the weight. I don't know. I don't know what Callista weighs.
Well, like, the main thing is the poison. I don't really care about them being frozen.
But I'm sure those go hand in hand, because they're both, like, you need to hit a successful hit in order for the poison to be activated. So you need to be able to freeze them, and then the poison will work as well.
It's still, like, more, it'd probably be a lot more beneficial than, like, sitting there poking, getting 1 damage out, you know, and then, alright, everyone spam vengeance on me nonstop. I'm gonna let him, like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It could be weird. It could open up some really weird janky things. That's all I'm saying.
It'd be surprising if there wasn't any janky things. That's not how RuneScape works.
Yeah, no, but I just mean, like, kind of ruining, like, a hardcore community in terms of people like to get bosses with really obscure accounts and where they put a lot of effort and GP into paying people to help them. Anyways, we'll move on. This is pulled. It's a trap. Good old stuff. And then we have a bunch of just general questions. So, quality of life and just content. We're getting out of the wilderness. So, should the number of cactus spines rewarded from successfully picking a fully grown cactus be increased based on your farming level?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass, you can only get 3.
Yeah. I mean, never really done it, to be honest. Whatever.
You should. They're worth quite a bit. They're worth, like, let me look it up right now. If you do farming runs, you can plant them.
I do trees, and that's it.
Well, I do it with my herb runs, because a cactus spine is worth 5k each. Takes no time to pick 3 of them, and then you replant another one. Also, the cactus is the best rates on getting your pet. I might be wrong on that, but I think I remember reading that somewhere. I'm starting to doubt my own information.
I do my trees, and I'm good to go. Didn't do Kelquats for a while, because I was too lazy.
Well, anyone else out there? Go ahead and throw the cactus in with it. The seeds are cheap, and you can get 15k a day, multiple times if you want. I do it like once a day. And next thing you know, you got like 400k worth of spines in your bank.
Should the number of seaweed spores dropped by NPCs on Fossil Island, such as the lobstrosity, be increased? Of course. I'm pretty sure it's like pretty shit right now.
Yeah.
Should the spores appear whilst underwater?
Sure.
Because you're going to be underwater when you kill lobstrosities.
They're worth like 163 GB each. I don't know, I guess.
Iron Man stuff, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Should we add a cosmetic reward for players who complete 100 master clues? Of course.
Oh, I guess, because they have that for the other ones, right?
Yep. I mean, they're like 500, but...
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Should the Xerix Talisman be changed to have its own unique teleportation amulet? Or amulet? Animation? Blah, blah, blah.
I don't see why not. I mean, I don't think you even need to pull that.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would be pissed off with a new animation. Unless it was like a cow kicking you.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Why would they ever add that? Should we tweak the mapping of the tar monsters found within the tar swamp area of Fossil Island so they no longer cause so much trouble near the 3rd Sulisette mushroom?
I haven't tried it since day 1 of release, so...
Yeah.
Sure.
Should the amount of experience granted for handing in the stick at the werewolf agility course be increased to 2 times the current amount? This would increase the experience gain from 190 to 380.
Werewolf agility course. I wonder if they mean like the skull bull.
I think so.
Which is,
honestly, I'm a rooftop. I do my parkour. That's about it. I've never been big on the other courses.
Yeah, you do your little Russian urban ninja simulator. Any buff to agility is good in my books.
Should the delay when picking up Zygamites be removed?
Yeah, you might as well do it to the other guys too, the ones in Xenorus.
Yep. Should it be possible to left click to cook on all ranges? This option would be limited to the first 10 types of cookable items in your inventory. This would not increase the maximum experience gain per hour compared to those current existing cooking methods.
Oh, hell yeah, that'd be great.
So, like, you would just left-click it, and it would start, like, it would open up the interface.
Yeah, you don't have to click on your item, use it, and then click on that.
Yeah, not all ranges and stuff do that. It's not like all fires. It's like cooking ranges. Like, you gotta make sure everyone's clear on that.
Well, I know the Hasidious Kitchen. I don't think I think you have to click use your raw food on it to cook it.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't cooked in so long.
I think so because I've been doing it a little bit, and that's what I'm remembering.
True. Yeah, I haven't cooked in like years. Should we reduce the HP of the Grotesque Guardians by 25%? Yep.
I think they're okay where they are, to be honest.
Nerf them. Make them faster.
I think they're all right.
I don't want to spend 3 minutes killing some fucking Grotesque Guardian in max gear. That's ridiculous. Come on, Jagex. Or like 2.5 minutes. To kill like a level 75 Slayer. I can kill Cerberus way faster than that. Bullshit.
The problem is, similar to Sire, there's a few phases where you can't do anything. You just gotta sit and wait.
I can kill Sire faster than that. Just start off with that. Grotesque Guard, 2.5 minutes doing like the most efficient methods of killing them. Where I like POH, come with max gear. I hit all my Crystal Halley specs on the melee guy and skip a whole phase. It's like the downtime just is killer. Hopefully this doesn't affect the experience that you gain per kill. Wouldn't be surprised if it did though. Because I know Slayer experience based off health.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think it should be faster. It is so fucking slow. But maybe it should be. I don't really know. I just want to get the pet at some point.
I'll be on the opposing end. I think Grotesque Guardians are okay where they are. I know I complained about Abyssal Sire, but I don't know. I find Grotesque Guardians a little different. It's just me though.
Should a new Slayer reward unlock be added, giving the players the ability to toggle when killing Grotesque Guardians and make them count as 2 Slayer kills instead of just 1? Yep. I say that because it prevents burnout on the boss itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that this isn't just how it is.
Yeah, no, I think it should just be like, oh, you get 2 kills.
Like, I don't want to have to pay points so I can get 2 kill count.
Yeah,
for
what's
it.
rightfully mine, you know? Fucking Jagex. But yeah, I like that because I'll sit down and kill like 8 of them and go, well, 30 minutes has almost gone by and I have 254 to go. Yeah, I'm gonna just go kill some normal fucking gargoyles. This is bullshit. So at least I can say I got 16 in 30 minutes. Not as bad. So should the Karen statue be changed slightly so that you can left click the Karen catacombs rather than have to right click and investigate?
I feel like left clicking it, you should read the plaque.
Yeah,
it makes the world feel more alive. You shouldn't.
You go up to a monument. You're not like looking. You're not investigating, or like you're like you tip. Like that's what makes it investigate. Like just give it a new entrance. You know, just give it a fucking manhole or some shit. Like don't. I don't know. It's gonna pass. I know
it's a little nitpicking, but you want the world to feel alive. Left clicking it, and you're gonna automatically go into the catacombs. Sure, it's easier, but in the immersion sense, left clicking should be reading the plaque because you're gonna do that over investigating at any time.
Yeah,
and then you might as well just remove reading the plaque because no one's gonna right click it to read the plaque.
Except when you accidentally do it because you're so used to the old way, and you go just fucking remove it, and then there's another poll saying should we just remove it? Don't worry, there'll be a book somewhere in the game that explains what the statue is. Yeah, just a waste of time. Just fucking either remove the read option or just leave it as is.
Yep.
Should deposit boxes be added to the bank locations that do not currently have one? So, Motherlode Mine, Lunar Isle, Barbarian Assault, Mage Arena, Arceus, Lobakenge, Shazian, Hasidius, Tizar, and Exeteria.
If there's a bank location that doesn't have them, I mean, I don't see a problem with throwing them in there.
Yeah. Should it be possible to right-click Ask Aladdin to obtain a new pet rock? Yeah. You know how much I fucking hate having to, like, go through the options and shit for my Dagonoth runs?
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I'll stockpile a full inventory, but it's still annoying. Should the left click of Spirit Trees be changed to travel rather than the current talk to after completing Tree Gnome Village?
I think it's the same thing as the statue.
Weird. Just let's make them not talk.
Yeah, or leave it as it is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you remember playing like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and you like
I was just thinking of that.
Go to the Deku tree and he's like, about to talk, and as soon as he opens his mouth, you just roll in there and start killing the spider.
Yeah.
You don't even give a shit, and then you come out and he's dead, and you're like, spoilers by the way, and you're like, oh, should have heard what he said. That's what you're doing, Jagex, to our grand trees.
Yep.
Anyways, should it be possible for players to check the age of their kitten and display how long it's left until it turns into a cat?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's stupid. I mean, I just yell at my cat in real life and I want to know how old it is. No,
Yeah,
I just think it's fucking, it's weird. Like, what, they're gonna add a, like, right click, talk to, pick up, interact. How old are you? What do you do, cut off its foot and check its rings?
That's what I was going to say. You should have to cut it in half, check its rings, and then get it sewn back up by Gertrude.
How about this? You can see how long it has left, but an hour gets added on every time you check.
That's good. That's good. And don't make it super obvious that some noob is sitting there and he right clicks it 3 times in a row and he's like, what the hell? It keeps increasing. Let me try it again just to make sure. It keeps increasing. What the hell's going on here? I have 45 hours until it grows. How long is a cat supposed to?
Yeah.
I don't have enough food for this.
They should give like a really general time. So it'd be like, your cat has like 30 minutes to 4 hours until it's fully grown.
Or yeah, you right click it and it's like ask its age and it's like a handful of hours until it grows.
How about this? You need the cat speak amulet to check.
That's good. That's good. And it won't tell you how long it has left, because why the fuck would a cat know that? It would just tell you how long it's been alive. The cat just been keeping count, he's been counting in his head since he was born.
Yeah, give it cat speak amulet. Get those quests done. Should the house teleport be changed so that you can select either inside or outside your POH with a right click? No? Well, okay, here's the thing. I never change between them. I've always had it set so I tele inside and I just step out. Or I just, like, if I'm, like, going to World 330 for something, I tele inside my POH and then just change worlds and you just log out, I don't know how often someone's really, like, I need to, like, every couple, like every 10, 20 seconds, I want to be teleporting inside, but then also outside my POH.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's an option that's gonna, like, the only reason why I'm against these some of these random ass things that, like, it turns more to like RS3, where, like, you go watch an RS3 streamer right now, and if you're not familiar with the game, you go, what the fuck is all over his screen? There's just fucking like windows of like skills and potions and gear and like, but they're like everywhere. It takes up like 80% of the screen. But like, I don't want that to happen to like our toggle use interface. There's like, I still feel like right now, a lot of the options to change shit around with the game are like, they just put them there. Like, it's not like clean. You're not like, okay, well, I want my inventory to like minimize and be on the bottom row. So obviously it's going to be, I click this and right click that and then change these options that don't really describe what I'm doing so well.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are like, it's hard to understand why they put it there, but also as a new player, you would just have never known it was there until somebody tells you or you just stumble across it. An example of this is when you drink your potions and you consume the vial, where would you have guessed that you would have to go for that?
Oh, you smash it? Yeah, exactly.
You smash it. It says you learn this through the barbarian training or whatever. So half the time you'd be like, well, probably the barbarian training area. Well, actually, kind of. Not really, though. You have to go to the agility course and talk to the guy there.
Yeah, you have to do the bar crawl.
I would assume that you would have to go to the barbarian training area where you learn the new potions.
Oh, you mean from the dude?
Yeah, from that guy that teaches you how to do the barbarian fishing.
Barbarian training?
Yeah, the barbarian potions. That's where I would have thought. But no, I have to go on the wiki, and then it's the bar crawl area, and I'm like, really? Okay, and then you go up, you right-click it, and it's like toggle, and you're like, okay, I guess that's just out there. I don't know, it just...
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd be more okay with them just adding these fucking weird, like, I don't want to see, like, right-clicks on, like, my POH, my fucking home teleport, because it's, like, shit that just bogs down, like, your UI, which is precious. You can't, like, once it's in there, you remove it, people are gonna be pissed. Like, have it, like, can we just have, like, one option where it's just everything interfaced, and then they have it all organized within that one box, instead of, like, having it fucking everywhere? Like, one thing of, like, using your teleports from Sears Village to, like, Camelot Square area by the castle, or the Grand Exchange, because those are very commonly, you go between those quite a bit. Like every day I do GEs and Verox. Sometimes I do Verox and then GEs right afterwards for my battle stats. I'm too lazy to run. But that stuff makes more sense because like maybe I'm being ignorant where I don't know the actual use of you wanting to not like you like. I don't know why it's super beneficial to teleport outside of a gate instead of inside your house. Typically, you want to spawn inside your POH and then jump out.
And even that takes no time because, I don't know, unless you want to skip that load. I don't know, that loading screen to get into your POH. I don't really know, though. It's not, whatever.
Hopefully, someone's sitting there rolling their eyes being like, well, there's actual some obvious reasons. I like to teleport on a PvP world outside my POH and then get declaw rushed. I love that, like Deagin, you idiot. Come on. No, but there's probably some...
There's definitely a reason. I can't see Jagex just being like, all right, well, we need to hit our quota of 30 questions to pull. Well, let's just do this. Okay, that.
Well, I think this is more or less of someone posting it on the subreddit and then they get their friends to upvote it in the Q&A and then they're like, okay, we talk about it. The 1,000 people watching the stream go, that's the best idea ever. And they go, okay, we'll put it in a poll. And then the fucking rest of the player base is like, wait, why is this in the game? I wasn't there with the 1,000 other players.
It's a little bit of that, but also if you ever watch the Q&As, whether it's live or post live, you'll see that people, they take questions from the live stream, which is a very small demographic of people, because most people, I'm at work, so I'm usually listening to it on my phone on the Twitch, and it's buffering every 10 seconds, and it sucks. But anyways, it's besides the point. But you see it a lot where they go, okay, we'll take a question from Twitch. Can we have the option to left-click teleport outside of our POH? One of the J mods, usually it's Mod Ash, he'll just go, yeah, that's not too hard of a change. So they don't see it as like, this is beneficial for the game. They more see it like, oh, I could do this in 30 minutes. Sure, why not? Sometimes.
Well, the thing is that you can change to teleport inside or outside your POH. It's not like this is an option. You can do it, but they want it to be a right-clickable option on your teleport tab.
Oh, yeah, okay, I gotcha.
Or on the house teleport, which is, I don't know. Whatever. There's probably some legitimate reasons that I'm just too ignorant to, like, know what, so I'll just be neutral. Next one. Should the wise old man be updated so he's able to remove any unnecessary quest items from the members or for members from the bank? Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just hope to God they don't find a use for it down the road, and if they do, maybe allow him to give it back to you.
Yeah, you mentioned it last week. Let him have a chest that he holds everything into.
Yeah. Theater of Blood entry mode.
Wow, man, we got a lot to go through this week. Holy shit. Fair warning, guys, it's going to be a long one.
Holy fuck. We haven't even started Deadman mode.
Yeah. Like I said, we recorded a couple days early, and it feels like we missed a month worth of updates. There's so much to go over this week.
It just hit me like a brick wall. I've rambled on too much. I'll try and like not ramble so much. Anyways, so this the only reason why I kind of sighed is I have a lot to say about entry mode, but I'll keep it.
Not to mean to ramble, but this is completely irrelevant, so this is kind of going against everything. Anyways, I have all these tabs up, and I'm like, I have all these points I need to make about so many different topics this week.
Yep. So let's just grind through it. You know, hit that 99. Episode 99.
Yeah, let's speed run this.
You know, they've sent a lot of feedback regarding Theater of Blood, and they've done some changes, obviously. One of the largest feedback they've seen on social media, specifically social media, and feedback from surveys is that the massive you that watched on Twitch, it was, you know, they made some small changes, but a lot of people want to be able to experience this content. Blah, 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 blah. So they want to change Theater of Blood in terms of difficulty and group size requirements, but it would be a bit of a heavy hit to those who've already spent hundreds, thousands, and millions of gold to get their strategies put down, to like perfect their times and, you know, deathless runs. And, you know, they have a chance to get end game content, right? Or not end game content, end game items. So they don't want to change the difficulty, and they don't want to make it more available to lower levels, mainly because other people will get mad, which I think is a stupid reason, but they shouldn't change it. But not because other people will get mad, because it's a bad idea.
It's a bit of a cop-out. They're saying, well, we kind of want to, but we don't want people to get mad at us. No, it should be an integrity thing. You should have... You want content to be at its elite form. You don't want it any... You know what I mean? You want it to be tough.
Yep.
That's what makes it so sexy to the spectator.
Yep. It's like, I can't do this, but look at these guys do it. I want to do it one day. Oh my god. It's like, can we have entry mode Inferno Cape? It's like Jad, but easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are more than willing to explore the options available. You know, they want you to enjoy the content and the viewing experience and the completion, but they want you to participate.
Right?
So they want people who don't have the best of the best and the max stats and all this stuff. They want you to have a chance at Theater of Blood, and they want you to get good. And when you're able to, you'll be able to do Theater of Blood with your newly developed teams. So they don't have a concrete design yet. Okay, so everything sounds good right now, right? You're like, cool. They want to have an avenue for players to experience or test out endgame content. And then maybe like really gear towards getting good at it and then doing the actual version of it. But this is where it gets pretty squirrely. Mm-hmm. So it'll be aimed between 1 to 3 players. 3 is the max. All encounters within the theater would be rebalanced. And they want to think between 100 and 110 combat.
Okay.
The health of monsters would scale for solo, duo, and trio. The gravestones would be half the price, would be 50k. And obtaining a unique would be vastly reduced.
Let that sink in.
Specifics can be removed. Specific uniques can be removed from the table.
Can be.
Or they could remove uniques entirely, and you'll never be able to get a pet. Issues. I want to keep this quick, but I have a lot to say.
I'll just first say the last time when they brought their health down to 75%, I think it was, for a group of 3 players for the 5-man. I mentioned how it seemed pretty early to be looking at nerfing it already. And a lot of people argue with me. This is on the subreddit, so keep that in mind. You're talking to a very specific group of people, and I'm one of them. So, but a lot of people were opposed to the term it being nerfed, where they're like, it's not really being nerfed. But to be fair, that is 100% what a nerf is.
Yep.
You're making it easier in some senses. Now, my problem with this is a week, 2 weeks after that, we see an entry mode designed for 1 to 3 players. So if you're wanting to practice it, why can't you practice it with a group of 5, which is what it was intended to be?
Yep.
So I don't get that. Aimed between 1 and 110 combat. What does that mean? Is it going to be tough? Is it going to be as hard for level 110s as it was for the 126s doing it? Because they were having a pretty tough time during the stream. Is it going to be that tough? I don't know. But even Chamber of Xerix isn't geared for that level. At 110, you could do it with a good group if you were going to get slightly carried. But if you're wanting to do it on your own and solo it and stuff, you're going to want to be at least 115 to 120. Maybe even higher, but I've been seeing 115s doing it. Gravestones being reduced, fine. Now this is where I am not too confident in this one. The chance of obtaining a unique would be vastly reduced. They could be removed, or they can be removed entirely from the drop table. I believe if you're going to do this and call it entry mode, aka probably practice mode would be a better term, there should not be any loot whatsoever on the table. This should be purely meant for you to go and practice the fight. RuneScape 3 has practice mode, and from my knowledge, you don't get loot from the kill. It counts as nothing. So this should be the exact same. This should be meant for people who want to get good at it, who want to experience it. That's what they say. They want people to experience the content. If you're going to have loot on the table, you're experiencing the content, but sort of. I mean, people want the money at the end of it. So you're not there for the experience. You're there for the money. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think I really don't want to come off as an asshole. This is going to sound really mean, but let me explain. Sweetie, okay. Sweetie, I slept with another girl, but let me explain. This is pretty much what I'm doing right now.
We're off to a good start.
Okay, so there's when someone's level 100 to 110, there is a lot of variables. There are plenty of people that are like level 120 that are really fucking bad at PVM.
Yeah.
There are people that are like max combat with max gear that have never PVM'd in their life, right?
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to do bossing.
When you scale content towards lower level players, So a good example is like you look at Bryophyta or Obor. That is like or King Black Dragon. They're like scaled for like the lowest combats, right? For like entry level, like you're just gonna kill a boss. You're killing, and they're extremely easy. I'd probably say Obor is the hardest out of all of those.
Okay.
But they're really fucking easy. There's like KBD has no mechanics. It's like you just range, pray, keep your anti-fire, keep your anti-poison up, right?
Yep.
And then if you compare to like Corporeal Beast or like I don't know, Cerberus, I can't really think of whatever. Those are like geared towards like higher level combat players, and they're like harder to kill. There's an actual like learning process and how to kill them. Or like, okay, Zulrah. Zulrah's a good example. Maybe it's an extreme, but like it's yeah, I shouldn't use Zulrah. We'll just use like I don't know, fucking Cerberus or something. Who cares? But there's like an actual like you have to be a higher level to do the boss, but the mechanics itself are balanced towards that, which means you have to be like good enough to like do the mechanics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, so if you're level 110 or 100, typically you'll have a lot less experience in PVM. Maybe you've done some God Wars, but like, honestly, God Wars is pretty easy. If you're tanking, you attack, walk under, walk under. Oh, I took a lot of damage, let me eat. There's no like actual like mechanics. There's no like traditional mechanics to it.
God Wars came around a time where the majority of mechanics in old school RuneScape, or sorry, not old school, in RuneScape in general, the mechanics from boss fights were you're going to take a large amount of damage sometimes. Look at Calfight Queen, right?
Yeah.
Mechanics are two different attack styles. You're going to take damage. Nothing else.
But then you look at like Cerberus, there's actual things that, well, if you fuck up, you're dead. Anyways, like if they're going to gear towards that, I'm assuming that they're implying that they haven't done much challenging PVM in general, which means it's not just a number. Like they're going to be really crunching numbers and maybe even like making mechanics not that punishable.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing Chambers of Xeric for the first time, you're going to be making mistakes a lot for a long time.
You're going to, yeah. I took two guys from the CC for their first run. And like I said, I'm not the most veteran raider, but I've done it enough where I know the mechanics and I can kind of explain it to them and I can walk them through as it goes on. But I warned both of them right when we got to the boss, you're going to die a lot. There's no way about it. You can watch 1,000 videos and you're still going to die a lot. I died so many times my first run. I died like 12 times my first solo. It's the growing pains of like hardcore PVM. It took me about 5 kill count before I finally got used to things. Still died, but I could see what was killing me.
But like the main thing is that this potentially is more accessible than Chamber of Xeric's, which I think this is a lot harder than Chamber of Xeric's. Chamber of Xeric's is pretty easy. I mean, there's some weird things with Olm you have to get used to, but other than that, like, anyways, so like I'm only bringing that up because it implies like at that level, you either have someone who like hasn't really PVM that much, maybe they've never really, they just NMZ'd the whole time, right? And like, so then they're gonna be pressured to like, they're gonna be like, wow, this might be too hard. We're gonna have to like take out some mechanics maybe. We're gonna have to vastly reduce. Man, these guys don't even have Ice Barrage, and they're not Ice Barraging the leeches that are running to the first boss, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
The Maiden. So now let's make it like there's only 2 that spawn now, and they move slower, and they just explode and do damage around them. So all you have to do is run away. You know what I mean? They might be in a position where they have to actually start changing the mechanics within entry mode.
So I feel like you're worried about what I'm kind of worried about, where this in itself doesn't seem necessarily bad if there was no uniques. The uniques and loot in general, I really don't like, but I'm worried this is kind of a slippery slope where they said they wanted this to be very difficult for solo players. We've already seen a nerf so that a group of 3 could do it. And now we're seeing a whole mode being balanced for groups of 1 to 3 and lower levels.
Which honestly, if it's geared for 100 to 110, it's going to be kind of easy to solo as like a max player.
Oh,
with
definitely.
like really good gear and stuff. It's going to be pretty easy. Dude, I can get to the 3rd room. That's my farthest I've gone in a solo.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, I got lucky with the procs in the first boss, but Bloat, he's easy. It's just time, right? And then you get to the 3rd room, I got fucked. But like, it's possible to progress as of right now in like the pre-nerf version of Theater of Blood. It's just really hard and you kind of need some RNG. But like if they're kind of like, this is kind of sugarcoating or like putting it as like, hey, you want to solo it, buddy? Go solo it. Or like I should be like happy that I can go solo this, but I know what this will actually do to the game. Yeah, if they do this, pretty much they just no excuse, no rewards in terms of like maybe some alcohols.
I don't think any rewards.
Maybe a token, or like something where your next gravestone doesn't cost you money.
Yeah, okay, that one doesn't seem too bad.
Like something so you're not just fucking hemorrhaging out the ass having fun, because that's what prevents a lot of people from having fun is they're losing bank.
Yeah.
So like either like have a way to like you get a little bit of money or you don't lose as much. Like, but it cannot be a thing where you're getting uniques. And if people have an issue with uniques, then it's not that they don't want to do this for fun, is that they want to do this for really good money. And that takes the fun out of something.
Yeah, because like the raids in itself are fun, but there's that carrot on a stick, you know? It's in front of you.
I go a month dry on Chamber vs. Eric's and I don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to be like, when I had that month of going dry, only thing that kept me going was whatever drop I got. That was really nice.
Yeah, like it's fun, but look at all the mini games that are dead that are also fun because they don't offer a good reward. That's what this would serve. But I do think this entry mode, it should be literally something where you're just going in there to experience that. I don't think there should be any way you should be able to make some money at the end of it, no matter how good you are.
Maybe even have it so like you don't lose as much money depending on what you bring, because you could be losing a lot of money per hour just dying a lot.
Yeah,
but I'm also not really against that, because every game with raids there are fees to failing, which is like WoW and shit. There's repair costs and whatnot. Every MMO there's some sort of repair cost or like gold sink when it comes to dying or like messing up during a raid.
Most games you can't farm a raid too. Like every 40 minutes you're into a new one.
You can't do it you can't jump out and just jump back in. This would be real. Like I would do this if there was like, if they had this, I would obviously do it. Even if there was no rewards though, it'd be fun to grab people in the CC and just go fuck around in there.
Yeah, it would be fun to do. But yeah, you shouldn't be doing it for the money. Because I came to this realization when I was doing Chambers of Xeric, that Chambers of Xeric in itself, it's a completely different type of raid where you can die 1,000 times and no problem. The whole raid is easy until you get to Ohm. Ohm he's pretty difficult. And then when you look at all the bosses in Theater of Blood, I feel like Ohm almost has more mechanics tied to him than any of the bosses throughout the raid. But the only difference is, Theater of Blood, it's boss after boss after boss. And you're having to bring your food there. Whereas Ohm, you can suicide and drop items, and you know what I mean? You have multiple inventories to go through if you want. Theater of Blood,
yeah,
that's what makes it super difficult, that it's you have to survive with what you brought in.
Yep.
And I feel like if you're level 100 to 110 combat, there's plenty of PVM stuff that you should be looking at to dip your toes in. You shouldn't be watching the streamers being like, well, I want to do the top end game stuff, because there's plenty of things that used to be the top end game content that you can currently do.
Yeah, if you're able to get uniques from this, you're going to be leapfrogging super hard. How often do you see people say like, yo, let's do some Chambers of Xeric, and then you like, they don't have the stats to do it, and like, dude, just carry me, it's no big deal. It's like, you're leapfrogging 99% of PVM content because you just want a chance of that T-bow.
Yeah.
Go through the process. God Wars Dungeon, even though I said it's really like easy, it's a lot of fun when you get you and a couple buddies to go do it. It's a lot of fun doing it. Like I mean, I don't PVM that much as of right now, but like there's been times where like, yeah, I'll go do a run with you guys, even though like I make no money. I make awful money per hour. I could have made more pickpocketing arty nights, but I'm doing it solely because it's fun to do. But also, you know, you can get really good money if you get like tacits or shit or some shit like that. SGS, yeah. ACB, any Arma piece, like, but like that's just like one piece of content. There's like a lot of content that like people try and leapfrog. And if they add this with like actual rewards, is really, really promotes leapfrogging like all content, which is like power creep, but in like a social aspect, not like an in-game mechanic aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we agree that it's
a slippery slope.
This would be cool if they had no rewards.
I'm sure we'll be touching on it in the future.
Yep. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let us know. Like, there's a lot of things that like we're opinionated on, or I'm opinionated on, and I could be ignorant on. But like, if you have like, yeah, I mean, obviously, always let us know if you agree or disagree. It's nice to see like discussion.
Let's have the conversation.
Yeah. Hey, nice, good Bell reference.
What?
Yeah, never mind. They had like a campaign where it's like, let's start the Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Anyways, so protecting game integrity, we're going on to an update.
Another one.
Okay, so this is what they want to do. Or this, okay, how about this? This is what they've done, and this is what they haven't done yet, all right? So they gave us an update on the 28th, and they said that they wanted to add the changing to pickpocketing NPCs, aka Arty Knights, the change the box traps, the anti-dragon protection, Zaf Staffs, Wines of Zamrock, Magic Guild Store, Mage Training Arena, Duel Arena. We'll go into detail in a second because they have introduced some of this and they have left some of this out that they implemented. So, like, most importantly, like, we know that these are all just to combat bots. Oh my god.
Bots and gold sellers.
Rural trading. Yeah. And so the most important thing we've talked about, we've mentioned, only reason why I skim by all these is we've talked about these in detail, and I'll go into detail in a second when it's like more related to like what actually came into the game. But, you know, they want to propose a 1% tax on all stakes.
Yep.
And it will only apply to the winnings. So you won't get, if we each stake 100 mil to each other, the 100 mil I win off you is taxed. Mm-hmm. Not my original bet. So it's kind of like a, you know, 0.5%, but it does scale, you know, depending on, you know, how big the stakes are and all that stuff. Yeah, so they want to add an option to boosting combat within the duel arena. We've talked about this before, and it prevents Xing, which is like a common scam within arenas that people fall for, which is you set your stats to certain things and you trick the opponent thinking they have an advantage, but they don't. There's also scams of like level 89s doing like weird, like there's a lot of scamming to do with having certain combat stats and like Xing and blah, 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 blah. So they want to add the option to boost your stats to 99, which is nice. They proposed an idea of adding a trait weight limit to ensure that there's some parity with the stakes, preventing odd staking, like X staking, that's what I mean. It's just odds. You know, like, I'll give you like 0.7 times what you put in. You put in like, you know, a 1 mil, I put in 700k. Yep. That's what I mean by Xing. Some people were not really down for the idea of a trait weight limit because of, you know, free trade ordeal that happened so long ago.
Oh, good times.
Yep. And I bring this up though because there is a new change they want to add. Once the update occurs, it'll only be possible to stake either coins or platinum. They want to implement that.
Yeah, no more items.
Yep. One prevents rage staking, and cleaning your bank prevents, I don't know what it's called, but when you manipulate price items in the like items in the GE and then you stake those.
Yeah, an item that never sells, and you can make it worth like 1 mil, even though it'll never sell if you own one of them, like the Slayer's Recite.
Giving some ideas.
That's one that's pretty common. I'll see it all the time. It happened to me over the week. Some guy's like, I'll buy a Sarah Godsword for 50 mil. So I was like, let me see what happens. He put in a bunch of those. There's some item like Rabbit's Meat's another one where they're worth like so much more, but you'll never be able to sell it for that much.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, I just want to see what you're going to scam. I'm going to report you now.
Oh, here's the fucking fireworks. I'm sorry if you hear fireworks going off. It's the night before Canada's Day, so you know, it's a good time to celebrate.
Yeah, great time to podcast too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll celebrate some updates, right? They want to make changes to tackling certain scammings, which will like prevent players from emptying weapons within the duel arena. Proceeding, like they'll like change like the whole darts and rune scams. Like you won't like there's people will like smuggle in certain items and like should I really go into detail about all this?
I mean we've talked about it before and
yeah. They want to like just prevent you from bringing in unexpected items into duels. So you could put like let's say a blowpipe, you could load it up with some darts and you enable the offhand. You know, for range, like a shield, and then you go and stake someone, you empty out your blowpipe, pull out the darts, and you go at them. There's like a lot of things like that, like the Trident of the Seas and all that stuff. People have been doing that. They just want to change, they want to clean up the duel arena, make staking great again, blah, 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 good old memes. Yeah, so they've offered a gravestone system that we should talk about.
Right. So I have seen them talk about this, and personally, I'm pretty excited about it. I know others are a little worried, but this brings back the whole thrill that I used to have when you would die back in the day. Thrill/anxiety.
This is what they want their system to be. They want it to be like a gravestone system. There'll be 20 minutes in return to, you'll have 20 minutes to return to your grave, after which, if you're not there in time, your items will be destroyed. The grave would be accessible in any world, and the timer would only decrease while you're logged in.
So you could log off overnight and come back to it in the morning if you wanted.
The grave would persist across reboots, such as game updates. The interface would stay open when in combat. It would appear outside of instances. They like to have a grave system to Zalra with a 20k fee to retrieve the items.
Interesting.
The fee itself would be about 1% of the value of items within the graves, with a maximum of 50k. This fee will be payable from your bank, and there would be functions to discard items, so if you couldn't afford the full fee.
Cool.
The location of the grave would be indicated on the world map if in a mapped area, and the cooldown timer would be displayed on screen. Clicking this would open up the world map and show you where it is. Untradeable items would go into the grave. Items we perceive to be useful could break, as they do in PvP currently. Food and potions will be retainable for free and will drop on the floor if the grave was lost. Tradable items under a certain value would be re-obtained for free to aid newer players. And they like to waive fees in certain game modes, such as Deadman. Exceptions would still persist where items remain permanent, so Torfin, Vorkath, Theater of Blood, Zalra. It would be like as it is right now.
Yeah.
Minus, Zalra would have a fee. Items lost on death interface would be updated to reflect new behavior. Will be communicating changes, prior to the implementation. And Ultimate Iron, will be handling their deaths separately. Items would drop on the floor for an hour, as they currently do. This would count down even when logged out, and would also reappear outside of the instance. However, this grave could not be present across other game modes.
So aka Ultimate Iron Man will have the current death system that we have now.
Yeah. Which means they can still abuse inventory packing. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't care.
Interesting note about this system. JMods have confirmed it with great confidence, but would not be surprised if this gets changed. Let's say you die at the God Wars, you die at Bandos, and your gravestone's there. If you're walking back to Bandos, and let's say the trolls kill you on the way there, your gravestone at Bandos would disappear, and you'd lose all the items in it.
Yeah.
So if you die before getting to your gravestone, your first gravestone's gone, and you lose all your items. Which means you will have to be extremely careful when you're going back. You can't just run there naked hoping to grab your shit. That I'm kind of excited for, because it makes you not want to die. 50k isn't that much, not that big of a deal. You'll have to be prepared, you know what I mean? You're going to have to bring food and stuff. You can't just go back to your thing and loot your body and, oh, I died again, no problem, I'll just run back and get the rest of my gear. It adds a little excitement to dying in old school RuneScape. Although I've been kind of accustomed to dying just dropping my inventory and giving me prolonged trips when I'm doing bosses, but whatever.
I have a lot of issues with this, but I think they do need a gravestone system. I don't really like how, I don't really know how to say this. It's kind of hard to say, but you don't keep your 3 most valuable items on you, do you?
I think they would. I think you would. It says the items lost on death would be updated, because right now, if you look at your items lost on death, none of your untradables go into that. You keep them all. But I think now it would have to be your 3 most valuable. I don't know. Actually, I have no idea.
Yeah. Hopefully you can keep your 3 most valuable, but it makes, the fact that there's an interface on the gravestone, I really don't like. Because if you die, you might have AFK'd, but you could be at Zamrock, where you get stacked at 70 HP. Just in general, you're just killing Zamrock, you get stacked for 70 HP. That sucks. But if you have to go through an interface that doesn't get interrupted when you take damage, or just an interface in general, you could be trying to go through the dialogue and have Australian ping, and as you're going through the dialogue, you die again, and now you're fucked.
Well, it's probably going to be like the similar ones where you can put all your items into the bank and stuff. So you have like 2 clicks to go through.
They haven't thought this through with certain bosses, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's some bosses where you going through that interface, like at least give options where you can right click and go deposit all, and you click it and it automatically takes money out of your bank and throws it all into your bank or into your inventory as much as you can. Like, they need that option for like.
Here's the other argument for it. Back in the day, if you died from Zamrock, if you got comboed out, you just lost your items. That was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you weren't soloing Zamrock back then. Well, back then, depending how back then there wasn't even God Wars Dungeon.
No, but when God Wars Dungeon was... Wait a minute.
I think there was a gravestone when God Wars Dungeon came out.
You might be right.
Yeah.
True. Never mind.
I know on Oldschool release, when they added God Wars Dungeon and stuff... Hold on. And there was a time in Oldschool where you could do God Wars Dungeon, and it was like the old school mechanic where you would die and your items would drop.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's not out yet, so we'll probably get more information as it gets more fleshed out.
So the only thing I want to say is I would like either... Like, I'm assuming that they kind of thought of an idea of... Because they want to rework the Arceus spellbook. So they could either give you a spell that lets you commune with your grave and maybe even pay an extra fee to deposit your items, or you can like teleporting there would be a little bit overpowered to teleport right to your grave, but it'd be kind of cool to have an Arceus thing where you could contact maybe someone and they could retrieve your items for you for like 2% with no cap or some shit, right? Or 1% with no cap. So like if you died and you lost max gear and you're like, fuck, I could easily die again, I'll pay 20 mil to get my items back to be safe. At least have it as an option. Maybe that's like I'm throwing out random ass numbers and shit, but you know what I mean. Or have the time to get your items scaling on how many quest points you have. Minimum is 20 minutes and it scales up to like, let's say an hour. Yeah. Because, you know, when with the gravestone system, you were able to like, if you had high enough prayer, you could bless a gravestone and give someone extra time to get to their stuff. And that doesn't seem to be an option, which is shitty. Like, let's say you're doing Sarah, you die, you don't have an extra ecumenical key, your items are gone, your team can't pick them up for you. Well, that sucks, buddy.
Yeah, but to be fair, now it's just going to bring the strategies, have a spare ecumenical key for if this happens. You know what I mean? It just adds more, you're going to have to plan for something like this now.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but you could it would be nice to have a way to either have a longer than 20 minutes by either blessing it or higher quest points or something, higher prayer, I don't fucking know. To have a longer time. Like, it would be kind of nice to not be in certain situations where, like, if you're an Iron Man and you just made the mistake, you thought you had 2 ecumenicals and you only brought 1, and boom, your shit's gone, dude. It's like that. That's gonna make you quit, probably.
Yeah. I don't know.
They have to. There are some things they haven't really thought through, I feel, but whatever. It's cool. I do think they need a death mechanic. Not against that.
Let's move her on.
Yep. Okay, so I'll get more into detail about the updates they actually added in. So they added in one of the dueling arena integrity changes. This is part 1 of their 5-part series. I don't know how many parts they're doing, but so they made it so you can't unload items within the duel arena. That was pretty much it. Prevent, blowpipe darts, staffs, runes, blah, 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 blah. Make it a bit more fair. They made a change to the mage training arena. They wanted to have, or they proposed adding 68 magic to pick up dragonstones in the enchanting chamber. But most bots had that magic level, so it wasn't really effective. They made it so that there are charge points. Like, if you ever go in the mage training arena during the enchanting room, this is where the integrity issue is. There's like these crystals and shit everywhere in like corners, and like the whole thing is like you can just get less points, but it's more consistent. You go in, you just enchant, like you just click on them, get the rocks, and you enchant them. That's pretty much what they wanted to do. And they added that.
Yep.
Just so you don't have to compete. So you're not forced to compete with bots. Better the enchant, better the points, but not as much as Dragonstone still, so. With Wines of Zamorak, they added a second floor that you need 500 total level and a set of Zamorak robes. You can use the Zamorak vestment tops and bottoms. Yeah, you gotta telegrab them, all that good stuff. And I think the lower floor, you'll no matter what get attacked by the Monks of Zamorak.
Yeah, this new option was just so free to play, still had a decent way of making money, while preventing bots from being able to overrun it.
Zafstaff, they made it more difficult for bots to purchase all the stock. So they added the partial completion of what lies below as a requirement for purchasing the staffs. This is not to be confused with the diary reward. The other staff in a store will remain accessible without meeting this requirement. The other staffs, just the battle staffs that you gotta do the quest. Yeah, so the partial completion of the quest will unlock access to the staffs. This is after the battle in the library, but before you speak to the rat Burgess to complete the quest.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to get that. They don't want people to get that accidental defense experience, you know?
True.
Changes to the box trap. In order to use a box trap, players will need to now progress through Eagle's Peak quest until the point where they have been shown how to catch a ferret.
Okay.
This will not impact Deadman tournament, but will be live from the start of the autumn season.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so during the seasonal, it'll affect Deadman mode. During the tournament, it does not. In other news, players may store up to 100 of each type of log in a balloon traveling storage kit, conveniently placed beside the balloon.
Nice.
So now I have to bring your own goddamn balloons.
Yeah, maybe I'll actually use it now.
I don't know. I think some people do, but... So in April, if you attempted to shove a player who had recently been shoved, or an NPC who wasn't shovable, the special attack would refuse to act, but your combat would be stalled as if you had done an attack. Shoving, as in Dragon Spear or Zamorak spec, or the Zamorak Hassa spec, the little stun shove. They released a small patch so your combat would no longer be stalled by a failed special attack. This is okay in PvM, but players in PvP didn't like it because they wanted their combat to be stalled so they didn't receive unexpected experience. So they wouldn't receive unexpected experience? I don't know. They did some weird changes to PvP only. I don't fucking know. Who cares?
Alright.
I don't really know what that means, I'm gonna be honest, but whatever. PvP rotation changes. Graphical changes.
All that fun stuff.
Yeah. So, hey, keep in mind, you know what they didn't change? Pickpocketing. I'm pretty sure they did this to let you know that pickpocketing is coming like next week. Like it'll be coming on the 5th, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's surprised that it come this one, but it's just around the corner.
They just did a favor for us, I think.
That's what it seems like. Let everyone panic their 99 thieving.
Yep, I went and panicked that. Easy.
Nice.
Yeah, moving on. We have to talk about Deadman Mode.
Yeah, the big Deadman Mode Summer tournament.
So this is, I have lost count, what is it, like the 10th or something Deadman tournament they've had? I don't know. They could just call it Autumn 18. Or Spring 18 or Summer, whatever it's called.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, where they went from naming it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they just switched to like Autumn 2018, Spring 2019. Yeah, pull it up and see which one we actually are on.
Like I think it's Spring, because Autumn just started. I don't fucking know.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
No,
10. Yeah, we just had number 10.
Yeah. Okay. So this was the summer season, I guess. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Deadman Mode Tournament 10, Summer 2018.
So the finals have started. Did you watch anything up until the final hour?
I guess briefly. I'll watch some YouTube series. I'll plop into a stream every now and then and watch them, but I don't follow them too hard, so like, no. We'll just go with no, not really. Maybe a brief bit.
Okay. Did we talk about like all the changes? Like, I feel like we've gone through everything like a million fucking times. The contingency plans. We've talked about all this stuff before, right? Or have we not?
Oh, the contingency plans? Yeah, where they're going to pause it.
We did last episode, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm losing track of everything.
Yeah, it's a blur, but I'm pretty sure we talked about it last episode. And the reason why I mentioned that is because, the contingency plans are always relevant. But anyways, one thing I noticed, because usually I keep up to date, like what's going on throughout the week. Like I'll watch some YouTubers, but like, you know, I'll like open up the streams and stuff when I'm just chilling, and I'll like watch them. It seemed a lot less like fun. There was like a change, like a attitude change to this season, to this final.
maybe. Like I said, I don't follow them too hard, but I try to jump in every now and then. But it seemed like all that happened for the week, for the most part, was like skilling. I didn't see too much PKing. It just seemed like people were playing it safe. Maybe that happens every invitational.
Well, I think it's a bit different because usually like there's people like Bodie who go around and just PK and they just stream PKing and like try to make it more fun. But he wasn't really. He was kind of just trolling around, and he was like, I'm going on vacation in like a couple days, so fuck it, I'm just gonna troll. But there's like a lot of other streamers that, like, I know Pure Spam PKs, but he also commentates, so he doesn't really care. But the people that like compared to like the beginning of the seasonals, like the beginning like season tournaments, all the streamers were like very like serious, but like part of their strategy was to go PK people. And they were like generally solo and blah, 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 blah. And then you notice like Alfie team with Raw and stuff like that and pulled like 20-hour sessions every day.
Yeah, I did read that so Alfie is a streamer. I read that he had gotten like 6 hours of sleep in 4 or 5 days. Something crazy like that.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Mika, he's like 279 or something. I forget what his YouTube channel is, but Mika, he always is like rank 1 combat and shit like that, and like the dude literally sleeps 4 hours or less a day for a week.
That's fucking unreal.
But a lot more people are kind of doing that, and there was one streamer named like Abyss or something. I think he PK'd a bit, but he was talking about how everyone's kind of forced to do that now, especially because I don't know if we should go in detail, but there's been like there's like a meta that developed in the final 1v1 brackets.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I don't know if you want to play a clip of, I guess, Abyss doing a little bit of an explanation of his opinion of this season, I guess, or at least on like what the streamers or the average player goes through. But if you want to play that.
So for some context, this is being said during the Invitational?
Yeah, during the tournament. Yeah, this is one of the last days, I believe. This was on the Thursday.
Okay, and I guess we should say, in case you're maybe tuning in for the first time or this is your first tournament, there's the seasonal, which goes on for like a month, 2 months. It goes on for a little bit. And then the final 2,000 players get invited to a new Deadman Mode restart, basically. It's called the Invitational. This goes on for a week, and your accounts restart. You have 1 week to build your account up, and then on the Saturday, that's what you're going to be going into the final tournament with. And here is the clip from the streamer Abyss.
I don't know. I've played to the point where like I don't feel good, and I'm sure a lot of other people have as well. It's unhealthy as fuck, and you shouldn't be forced to do this. It's actually it's fucked in my opinion. That like if you and like the sad thing is like, you know, once you put in like 10 hours, you feel like you're obligated. Like I don't feel like I can get off the game because I'm so close to maxing out, and I want.
All right, so a little bit of
little negativity. He pretty much says like, you know, he wants to obviously max it and have the best chance to win and whatnot. Because the clip ended a little bit earlier, but I thought it was kind of relevant because it was really apparent looking at like some of the streamers, like it came off as like they're all doing this, and like it's not just the streamers though. The average player is doing this as well. Like the average player hitting the 1v1 brackets and stuff, right? There's like a core group of people that, I mean, there's a lot of people that jump in and take it casually, but they finish with like, you know, 60 attack and strength, and they die in the final hour, like, instantly. But to have, like, a real chance at, like, $20,000, like, you have to put in a fucking unhealthy amount of time. And, it worries me that, like, dude, some dude's gonna, like, fucking die over this shit.
It's possible. You know, there's been issues, not RuneScape related specifically, but other games, people have had some serious problems with it, like very fatal problems. And I think it becomes this thing where Jagex does, they do their best at making it so the casual player can kind of be a little relevant, I guess. But the problem is when you're facing your opponent and he's putting in 12 hours and you're only putting in 4 hours, he is going to be at an advantage regardless. So then you're kind of forced to, if you want that extra little step in your I don't know, in your success rate, I guess, for the tournament, you're going to have to put in those extra hours as well. And you see it in other things too. Now, I'm going to bring this out of RuneScape for a second. Hopefully we can make them kind of like relate. But if you ever watch like MMA or UFC, you see it a lot where a fighter will be, I haven't watched in a long time, so I'm going to be getting all the numbers mixed up. But anyways, let's say you regularly weigh 160 pounds. A lot of the times, the fighter is going to go to a lower bracket, let's say 150 or 145 weight class, and he's just going to go spend a week forcing himself to lose the weight through dehydrating himself and just really sweating it all out. And it's super unhealthy. But the reason they do that is because your opponent did that. Your opponent normally is 160, but he's fighting in a 145 weight class. So if you want to be able to compete against him, you're going to need to be cutting weight to go to like a lower weight class than what you normally weigh at. Which, if you've ever watched it, I've seen times where a fighter goes into the weigh-ins and he's being carried.
Yeah.
Because he can't stand up.
Yeah.
They do things to make it so it's easier for the fighter to weigh in what they normally are. That's what they want. They want you to weigh in what you normally are. You don't want to have to cut weight. But the thing is, you're going to be at an advantage if you can cut the weight, because your build is going to be for that 160 weight class. Anyways, to bring this over to RuneScape, it's kind of similar, but with putting in time and playing, right?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy that like so many people are willing to put in 20 hours a day grinding out stats. And like, I think the only reason why we're talking about it now, I guess, because this meta really enforced it. So like a meta, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the term, but meta is typically like how, like usually the most optimal way or what the best way something like to do something is. So like the meta for Slayer is to make sure you have a Slayer helmet. You know what I mean? And you will ice barrage certain tasks. Like there's like a meta where like there's like a typical most optimal way to do something until like a new or better way is figured out. And like, so the final hour meta for this seasonal was Verax with Vengeance and just RNG.
Yep. Auto attack them.
Getting the Verax meant more people were needing to do barrows to get the full set, to get specific sets. And more people, you're kind of forced to grind as high. You want to cap your melee stats ASAP. You want to get as high magic as possible. Like it was kind of geared towards like try and get a Ring of Suffering, you know, like get a Fury, get full Verax, Fire Cape, blah, 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 blah. And like, I guess the requirement for that is much more time consuming than say, you know, when it was just tri-breeding and stuff. Because it's like, it's Dehyde and like Arams or Carols and Arams, you know what I mean? Which is like, it's not everyone fighting over one set of armor. It's like people are bringing in Dehyde and Kite Shields and people are bringing in this and that. There's a lot of variation when it comes to like a tri-bred or a hybrid setup, where if you can't get one item, it's not a big deal. You can find something else that works. And like, yeah, you just notice like a lot of people putting in crazy amounts of time, and it was kind of worrisome because everyone's put in 20 hours this week. Like, let's average, I shouldn't say everyone, but like the competitive people that are like going for that, you know, top 60, top 8s, like they're putting in like 20 hours a day. And some of them have to do this to compete with a clan that funnels 6 people into one guy, you know, where they're all dumping all their supplies, items, and resources into one guy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not, you know, within a clan getting items funneled to you or whatever, then you're kind of competing against that, which it's kind of like a snowball of like losing sleep to play RuneScape.
Yeah.
There's nothing Jagex can really do unless they completely remake this.
Unless you're literally, like, that's the thing. Any caps, they try to. They put these XP caps.
Well, that's for only seasonals. They have no caps in tournaments.
Oh.
Yeah, tournaments to just go at it.
They try to do a few things. But the problem is there's always workarounds, because at the same time, you don't want to make it so the casual player can compete just as much as somebody who is able to put in 10 hours a day minimum, right?
Yep.
And there's always going to be a workaround.
I don't know. I just think it's a little scary on like how much time. Keep in mind, that clip, he was really tired. He was definitely not in the most upbeat mood. And if you are killing yourself over a game, how about just stop?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's the...
Just stop it. I bring this up just because it kind of loops into the final hour. We both watched it. I thought this final hour was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. You know what? I think it might have been the best one so far for a number of reasons.
My opinion, some of the fights were a bit more boring because of just Verax versus Verax.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still really good, and the overall final hour was pretty fun. I liked watching it. I liked watching, you know, like when they're in the multi-combat, one of the two multi-combat zones, the final areas, I guess, in Varrock, and you saw two teams rotating in like a counterclockwise route, and then like stopping to try and like catch stragglers and stuff. It was really neat seeing how all that happened. And you saw like certain clan members hiding in the groups, and they would like once those timers went on long enough, they de-speared some of the high priority members out into the fog, and they pretty much killed themselves to de-spear like Monty and like other high value targets. Like, I guess like good streamers and players. I thought that was like super neat to like sneak in some spies to do that.
It was pretty fun to watch. Now we'll give a kind of a brief breakdown of what the actual tournament was. They had, was it 4 streamers?
Yeah.
So they had 4 streamers at the actual event that were playing on stage. This was MMORPGs, Manked Up Mage, what's his name?
Robert,
and Skill Specs.
Yep.
So those were the 4 on stage, and they were just kind of, for the people who went to the event, they were able to watch them play, and it was kind of fun. You'd maybe root for who you wanted to win, and it would show when somebody died, it kind of came up on their screen. They also had a new shoutcaster that replaced one of the old ones. His name was Revan. He replaced Skidler. So this one I actually wasn't even really aware of until it happened. I might have just missed it, but hard to say why.
Skidler said some dumb shit. He got fired.
Yeah, nothing completely confirmed, but I think it's safe to maybe say that happened. But anyways,
yeah, he tweets some stuff sometimes.
Yeah, okay, he's a little crazy on the Twitter. Anyway, so when this new shoutcaster came on, I'm unfamiliar with who he was, but he seemed to do a really good job, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, breaking down like the clans, how they were interacting with each other and stuff in the like multi-zones.
The only reason I say I'm unfamiliar with him because I almost want to say he must have shoutcasted things before. Like, he just seemed really good at it. He must have played in other gaming tournaments because he had mentioned how he had been on stage in previous tournaments playing in front of a live audience. Maybe not for RuneScape, but maybe for like Halo or something. I don't know. He didn't really go into too much details. I could probably do some research and find out. Maybe I'll do that as we're talking. But anyways, he did a pretty good job, so I was pretty impressed. But yeah, besides that, if you haven't seen a tournament before, it's kind of same as always. Not a whole lot goes on for the first hour until people start getting funneled. It's kind of like people finding territories and just kind of claiming it. The odd person gets caught out of position and they get killed. They've introduced these things where these chests fall from the sky. You're able to loot them and get some good items. There's a few times where a noob was going to be getting a good item, and it's kind of exciting to watch that, you know, cheering for that underdog who is clearly not going to win the fight. But hey, level 40 has an Inferno Cape now. That's always fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they broke it down, got the 2 final areas where everyone got funneled to. Eventually, gas would close in and start doing damage until there was 60 people in each of the final areas, and then boom, the 1v1 started. Yeah, and then, those were pretty good to watch. As you mentioned, I guess the meta, you saw a lot of people with Verax.
Yeah, Verax with Vengeance. Sometimes they'd bring like a rune crossbow with Carols top, just in case like someone froze them and stepped away, then they would just like swap and bolt them.
Yeah.
So it was like, obviously it was really fun to watch, but it was annoying watching pretty much a coin flip where it's like who's gonna max through prayer first.
Yeah.
But there were still like people were still tri-birding, and like some tri-birders made it to like top 8 or top 4. And it was good. It's not like it was just like everyone was in Verax and you're like, oh Jesus Christ. Like it was it was pretty cool. You saw some really neat little
variety.
tricks.
You saw a few KOs too, which was kind of fun. The odd one. A lot of them was just you got exhausted of your resources and you fell. But there's a few times where somebody died and they had food left.
Yep, there were some really clutch moments. They added a new mechanic where, like, with the crates, the starter crates and whatnot you get, you got like tuna and stuff. We've talked about what they are in the past, but you're able to bank in between each session. So you could, like, you know, bring in gear to get to the 1v1s, hopefully win the first one, and then bank and resupply yourself for the 1v1s. And there are people that did some really cool things where they brought in some of their starter crates. They banked them because you can get one a day, and they would bank one or two. And then as the tournament went on during the 1v1 brackets, they'd bring one out. And once they're out of food, they would open it up, and they got 10 tuna. Really, really cool idea. I thought that was super smart.
It's if you're in a pinch, you know, tuna will do the trick. Obviously, it's not your go-to food, but you know.
Backup. It's good emergency food.
Exactly.
And for some cases, it actually like it was make or break for the fight. It was really interesting. So that's pretty much it. It's a pretty decent summary. The guy who won, his name was Deadman Mode, like DMM Final Freak or Freak Show, something like that. DMM Final Freak.
It was DMM Freak Show.
Okay, yeah. His name was like Victor or some shit. Yeah, congrats to him. I think Ditter Bitter. He's like a YouTuber. I think he came in second.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So that's really nice. That's cool to see. I think it was Lit that one though, the clan Lit. I think Ditter Bitters and Cutthroat. I don't really know too much about the clanning, but
overall it was exciting. The 1v1s have been a great addition. They're awesome to watch.
Yep. Is it time to talk about the controversies controversy, I guess there's only really one.
Yeah, if you were watching, it was very apparent that something had gone wrong.
Just look at the chat. You look at Twitch chat during that whole event. Oh my god, it was fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I mentioned him before, and his name was Mika. So like I said, he does these crazy 20-hour binge a day on RS, you know, blah, 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 blah. And, so the final hour starts. He's going to the multi-zones with his clan, and he gets DDoSed. And we mentioned before that, you know, reconnecting to the servers, they give you a 1-minute grace period, but he wasn't able to connect, and everyone starts freaking out, saying, you know, Jagex, you suck. But funny enough, no one really like looked into it because one of the first things I did is I was like, all right, he got DDoSed. That sucks. Why couldn't he join? And you go through his Twitter and he makes tweets of, there are 4 minutes apart. Yeah, 3-4 minutes apart of him being DDoSed and him not being able to join the tournament, which you only have a 1-minute leeway period. And you know, Jagex even warned you have 1 minute. Make sure you have a hotspot and stuff ready. The main thing is he thought he was safe because he was on his college network or whatever, his university's internet, and that apparently that got knocked offline when he got DDoSed.
Ooh,
which I just thought that was kind of funny, but
yeah, all that homework
kind of squashing it. People were like blaming Jagex for being incompetent, and they did say that like throughout the stream. They said, unfortunately, we cannot get Mika back in the game. We've made changes to the content to allow individuals to relog multiple times and issue instructions prior to the finals, which advise them having a backup connection available. And he did not have a backup connection. I should mention, though, there was 2 people that changed their names to Mika's names. He's like Mika Deadman Mode and Mika like 279. He's got like 2 names that he plays on 2 accounts in the finals. And someone people took both of his names, or similar names at least, and pretended to be him, which I thought was really funny.
Wow, yeah.
Kind of just want to squash that because people were like really giving Jagex shit, but there's a lot of evidence to show that he, 1, was like too cocky / wasn't prepared, and 2, just waited too long. The guy was tweeting, like when you have a minute timer to do anything in general, like if I have to take a shit and I have a minute to do that, I'm not going to stop and tweet. Like it's 60 seconds. That time is very precious. If I'm cooking,
you do not have time.
If I'm cooking food and I have a minute until it's about to start burning, I'm not gonna stop and tweet, "Oh shit, my food's about to burn." Like you just focus and fix it. Don't sit there and complain and then go on a 3-hour mental breakdown. Sadly,
yeah, it is unfortunate. The only problem is why I'm not on board with this whole circle jerk on Jagex fucked up is because I watched the video of him explaining it the whole time. it showed that he was actually using TeamSpeak. Do we need to say it again? Your IP is basically available to everyone when you're using TeamSpeak.
Yep, use a VPN. Fuck, I tweeted at him like 30 times. There are a couple companies. I don't want to say their names. Maybe one of them want to hook us up. There are a couple companies that are known to sponsor fucking gamers and YouTubers that do VPN services. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can, use your YouTube as leverage to get a sponsorship, or, buy the VPN. If you're competing for $20,000 4 times a year, it might be worth it to buy a VPN for a year.
Yeah, maybe.
Like a high quality VPN service.
Another idea is don't use TeamSpeak. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm just a purist.
So the argument for that is that Discord can't hold, you get 30, 40 people in one chat. The quality goes down heavy. To the point where it sounds like everyone's underwater. And TeamSpeak's able to support much more than that in a single channel. The VoIP capabilities of TeamSpeak are much better, so that's why people use it. But fucking VPN, use a goddamn VPN. What?
Yeah.
Unless people know what school he goes to, and then they just find his schools, then go home or use hotspot.
Public library. Let's kick it back to the old days.
Yeah, exactly. Some nerds pin you down, drop trade your stuff.
Ain't no one gonna fuck around with that librarian there.
Yeah, exactly. Shh! Stop DDoSing. Yeah. Gonna shut those fuckers down.
Get out. Give me your library card.
It was just really weird that everyone circle jerking hard, being like, fuck you, Jagex, and it took me a minute to be like, no, they're in the right. They did everything right.
Sometimes I think it's easy to rag on Jagex for things like this. And it's unfortunate. Nobody wants to hear that, hey, the person you were rooting for could have done a better job at saving it. You know what I mean? Trust, we'd be the first one to harp on Jagex about things.
If I can blame Mod Jed, that I'm going for the throat. I ain't stopping. But it's just ridiculous. Maybe I'm biased because I was he kept tweeting out what am I gonna do? That's my Big Connect impression. But he kept this is, you can't avoid this. And I kept tweeting him dude, there is so much information here. Talk to these guys, because I know these guys sponsor fucking gamers and fucking YouTube channels.
And you're blocked.
And deletes the tweet and retweets it. Okay, well, let me just copy and paste this tweet. And deletes the tweet and retweets it. I'm like, dude, there's 3 people commenting, both of them saying, that sucks, lol, fuck Jagex. And there's me being like, here's a guide, contact this person, or contact these companies for sponsorships for this if you don't want to pay for this stuff. And then here's a guide on how to not get DDoSed. And then he's like, I'm not gonna take that advice. I'm gonna just fucking read. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit biased. Maybe that's why Jagex isn't giving me my goddamn orb of Oculus or my Oculus orb.
Just raging at people.
I was being nice. I'm
yeah.
Come on, buddy. Come on, man. Anyways,
though, that was basically the tournament. Enjoyable overall.
Yeah, loved it. I thought it was great.
I had fun watching it too. Quickly to go back though, I did some looking up. Revan apparently is the co-founder of a competitive league for Call of Duty.
Really?
So maybe that's where some of his
showcasting ability came from. He was really good.
Yeah,
he was really good. He was a good addition.
I was just surprised that this guy I hadn't heard of him before, and then he seemed to know his shit about RuneScape and stuff. It wasn't just let's hire a guy from the League of Legends shoutcasting team, bring him onto here, and this guy's just I don't know what the fuck's going on.
So where's the ultimates?
Yeah.
Okay, and where's the towers? I can't think of any other jokes. I'm just gonna repeat League jokes.
Yeah. I'll go back to the shop and buy some items.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's your Deadman Mode recap. And yeah, the next season has gone live. And apparently, I don't know if this will carry through for the Invitational, but it might. But a user in our Discord did bring this to my attention. User Chick on Discord.
That's how you say it? Is that how they won?
CHK?
I don't know how to say his name.
all Barrows items will not be available in this next season.
Yeah, cool.
We'll see if that carries on through the Invitational, so we don't see so much Verax going on. I think we're safe to move on.
Well, there are some changes for the seasonal.
Okay, let's
removal. So the purpose of this section is to detail any major changes from the previous season. So they remove the event RPG. The Warriors guild doors don't cancel damage anymore. The global Deadman drop table, potions, and secondaries are increased by 25%. All NPCs with a combat level 100 plus have a 1 in 300 chance of dropping a tier 5 emblem in addition to other drops. They added an NPC to Lumbers that allows players to teleport to Fally, Varrock, Sears Village, Artie, or Trino Stronghold once per day. Double the drop rate of Abyssal Whip, Leaf Bladed Battle Axe, Dragon Plate Skirt, the Dragon Defender, the Visage, all God Wars dungeon items, the Ward Shards, and the Imbued Heart. Double the drop rate of Wilderness Emblems from bosses and Wilderness Slayer. Stop rooftop agility obstacles from canceling damage, and remove Lava Dragons from the task list of the Wilderness Slayer. I swear they say that every single freaking season, that they're removing something about the Lava Dragons out of the game.
Possibly.
And then there's a ton of different things that we've gone over in the past. They have a whole thing, like runescape.com/oldschool/deadman/season, and there's a massive list of things that they have done in this game. It gives you a nice rundown of all the rules and regulations within Deadman mode.
Exactly.
I'm really curious on how this season's going to go and how this tournament's going to go. The autumn tournament. Mainly because I feel like if Deadman becomes not as popular or like really boring or anything like that, that's going to happen this upcoming tournament. So make sure to get into that tournament so you can say you're a part of everyone using Verax and then dying from blood clots.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about taste vengeance, am I right?
Nice.
I think that's it for Deadman mode.
And lastly, for community stuff, this is it. This is the last little update unless you have something. So with our brothers over there on RuneScape 3, we know that they are constantly battling the Chinese overlords and their microtransactions. Not entirely true. We don't really know who's bringing the microtransactions, but Jagex is the one who's putting them in there. Yeah, they constantly have these microtransactions. If you've played it or even stepped onto it, it is very apparent. It is a very toxic thing that's plagued the game, I guess. You have Treasure Hunter, which is basically a gambling thing. You click on these boxes, boom, you can get experience, you can get items, you can get cosmetics. They have this Solomon shop, I believe. Sorry for my ignorance. I haven't played in a long time, so a lot of this I'm just going off from what I've been reading and from what I remember from hopping on myself. But Solomon shop, I believe it offers various rewards for a microtransaction type currency. There are holiday events that turn out to be kind of microtransaction promotions. You have Rune Metrics, which is something you can add on to your normal membership. Costs a little bit extra, but it will track your experience and your progress through the game better than most third-party sites. So Oldschool RuneScape has Crystal Math Labs. RuneScape has their own thing that Jagex has made, but it works probably better, but you got to pay money for it. And you have your membership that you have to pay. They're now bringing in this new edition of microtransactions on top of all of that called Rune Pass. If you play Fortnite, you're probably familiar with this Battle Pass system. Well, RuneScape 3 is also bringing that into it as well, where you'll be given achievements or kind of objectives to do, or just as you're progressing and you kind of hit these tiers, you'll progress through your Rune Pass, and you can unlock various rewards. Now, the free version, you get like a couple rewards throughout it, but if you pay for it and get the Rune Pass, you will get more rewards more often as you progress through the tiers. So, why is that bad? Well, we know Oldschool RuneScape is basically microtransaction free. I say basically because we do have bonds, but that's kind of its own thing. You can make the argument for it. It has its own player value, or player's value at its own thing. It allows people who don't normally pay for the game to suddenly play membership. Also, it's a way to combat gold trading because If you're someone who's gonna buy bonds and the bonds aren't there, you're gonna go to a third party and buy RuneScape Gold from somebody else who's farming it. Anyways, RuneScape 3 is on this crisis. They're constantly losing players. They have some good updates from time to time. They have Solak. They have this new thing called Elite Dungeons, which is, from my understanding, your party goes in, you kind of do, your traditional dungeon that most MMOs have. RuneScape doesn't, but most MMOs have these dungeons. You go in with 5, you kill some mobs, you kill a boss, you get some rewards. And the reason I just wanted to bring this up is because it seems like they're in a very bad spot. They're getting squeezed for as much money as possible in a very short time. We talked about it. It feels like yesterday we talked about when they brought
October.
Was it October?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been some time, but it's not
like
that long.
8 or 9 months.
But they came out with this new dev blog where they said they're going to really step back from the microtransactions. They're going to stop what they were doing because they were getting... The RuneScape 3 community was just getting... They just had it with all the microtransaction promotions and all the new additions, and it felt like every update was to do for microtransactions. So the JMods actually listened. Well, not actually, but they pretended to listen. They made a dev blog saying they're going to step back. They're going to revise their plans for their microtransactions. They're going to slow down with it, and they're going to try to work with the community some more. Well, fast forward to today. They've kind of... I guess this is their revised plan. Let's add even more. Let's add a new system of microtransactions on top of everything else.
If this is revised, I wonder how much they probably wanted to do this like 4 months ago.
Yeah, maybe.
They're like, oh my god, it's been like almost 9 months. We haven't added any microtransaction. I'm about to like pop a blood vessel.
Well, what I think happened is like you got some JMods, they go home, they play some other game, any online game that's usually free, and they come back, he's like, hey, I got an idea. Just playing this game, and they have loot box microtransactions.
Well, what happens is like one company does something innovative. It not only like works, but it makes the player base bigger. So CSGO, best example. The game was fucking dying, and they decided to introduce a skin system that you can get by spending real money and unlocking these crates you get in the game. I mean, I guess TF2 kind of had a system like that, but they implemented it to CSGO, and all the issues with CSGO got kind of muffled for a bit because all these casual players really liked collecting shiny guns. And it was so like, it made the game exploded when they did like a cosmetic microtransaction update. They made a way more money than they normally did. So then a bunch of other games opted in to do this. And then then there's something like Overwatch where they're like, you buy these boxes and then you just open them up and you get skins. And then the exact same effect. I know people that drop like $200 day one on loot boxes.
Sure, yeah.
And then you see that effect get applied to everything. And like
RuneScape got the treasure hunter. Same idea. You open up a box.
Yeah. But like these ideas get applied to all these games and then people get sick of them. Like I go play Battle Right and I'm sick of the fucking loot boxes system. Like I see that shit and it turns me off from the game. H1Z1 had the Counter-Strike type box system. PUBG adopted the Counter-Strike and the Fortnite system,
Yeah.
But like Fortnite came up and innovated like a new way to milk money out of companies with microtransaction. And then, like PUBG adopts it. Fucking RuneScape adopts it. How weird is that? That does not fit. But the new mobile games guarantee you they have this new battle pass system.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
It promotes players to play the game more because you want to play it a lot to make full use of your battle pass, and then you want to spend more money so you get more out of your battle pass. You know what I mean? Like you actually upgrade it. You buy like the paid for version, and then you want to play a lot. And it's a really smart idea to keep your players on your game and to give you money.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. You've brought up some pretty juicy information about the whales and how they work within that system. It's unfortunate that RuneScape 3 seems to be getting hit unreasonably hard with this shit. Don't forget, this is all as well as membership prices increasing for them too.
Yeah, exactly. How much is it? Like I don't even know how much it is, but this is pretty much an additional membership on top of it with rune metrics. Keep that in mind. If you're a serious player, you might want to get rune metrics, but it's being compacted, and like I think the reason why they get hit with so many microtransactions is because they know Old School would just quit.
That, or they realize Old School RuneScape is growing, so there's no reason to hit it with microtransactions right now. Because microtransactions aren't going to bring players into the game. It's going to do the exact opposite. RuneScape 3, they have the I guess analytics to see exactly who's coming and who's going.
Yep.
They're probably looking at the charts and saying, well, we're losing a steady amount of players. We might as well kill it. I was looking it up, and this is out of my areas of expertise. But this is a method they teach in business school. When a product is dying, you do these last-ditch efforts to milk the last bit of profit that you can before you kick it out the door.
Yep. So I'd love to see the numbers of how many people quit RS3 only to go to Old School. Because like this is a very, very unique type of an MMO. Plus, players have sunk over, like there's people that have sunk like 20 years of their lives pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, not literally, but you know, they've sunk in like a good chunk of their life playing this game, and like oh, it's gonna die. Well, sunken cost fallacy. I guess if I quit or if I'm forced to quit, I'll just go to Old School because it's kind of like RuneScape 3. It's not the same, but like fuck it, I'll restart. But I would probably assume that like at least 80% of RS3 players, like, if they quit, they go straight to Old School. And if they don't get into Old School, then they're done the game. But like they can kind of still retain a lot of the player base. And the people that do stick around are just giving them so much money.
Old School, maybe WoW even, because WoW has a similar combat style. If anything, RuneScape 3 adopted
typically,
like that,
if you're quitting RS3, and you see it all the time in the subreddit, you're quitting RS3, you're going to go play Old School because you're familiar with it. It's still RuneScape. You still love the game. You hate RS3 because of the microtransaction, but not many people like quit RS3 to go play another game if they're like, if they're that invested in RuneScape in general. I mean, it's not like 100% overlap, but
yeah,
they can still retain some of the player base by destroying one of the games.
Yeah, it's unfortunate though. I know RuneScape 3 does some really cool things when it comes to like bossing, and some of the quests seem to be really well done. It's a shame to see it going this way. We'll have to keep an eye on it, and hopefully nothing happens, because I don't know. I see that shit and I get worried about the fate of Old School RuneScape in the future.
You know what's really going to scare me? If they come out with a pre-EOC legacy server. Soul Split type shit with summoning, but no EOC.
So like a third version of RuneScape?
Well, like, because then that would mean they're going to shut down RS3. Old School's going to start getting hit with some fucking promotion microtransactions. And then, then we're all going to move. And it's just going to be like this weird thing where the player base just goes in this awkward circle of like, this game was amazing for 5-6 years. Now it's shit. I'll go to this version of the game. This one's amazing for 5-6 years. Oh, now it's shit. And then like this player base of like 70,000-80,000 people just get like cycled around and around and around.
Now imagine we got like a 2015 Old School RuneScape server. So it's like going back to when Zulrah first got released or something like that, or Zaya first got released.
Oh my god.
Anyways, we have talked on length. There has been a lot to go over. So let's just bring this one home. We're gonna skip the lore this week just because it's been a hectic fucking episode.
Oh yeah.
So let's just move it on to our closing little segment, because we still got a little bit to talk about here. So first things first, we did get an email from Dean. He wrote in before, and he wrote in again. Hey, small follow-up. I've been listening to your podcast from last to first and then first to last. Wow, that's a commitment. Which made me mention the Iron Man series coming back. I think it wouldn't make too much sense because it would impact the beginning of your podcast and cost upwards of 4 minutes. We're going to have to do a follow-up with him there. 4M every other week to do it and time. However, as I've been listening between the start and finish, I finally got to the midpoint where Dilz would give Deagin trivia questions and thought this was a great idea. I just heard the Examine game, which I thought was very funny and fun to listen to, and I thought you should do it again, this time having some sort of more specific examines like agility and allowing Deagin to study for these like a test. Just the thought, although I'm drunk, and just remembering you have a lore section. It's good. Either way, your concern is the time of the podcast, and let me tell you that, personally, the longer the better. Well, perfect. This is a great email for this episode.
Yeah.
If people didn't have the extended amount of time to listen to your podcast, you would have stopped by now, and you wouldn't be receiving this email. I love the longer ones, so I have more time to pass at work as I have worked 12-hour shifts. God damn.
Damn,
I
dude.
complain about my 9-hour shifts.
Complain about 9 hours of thieving.
Thank you for your podcast and keep them up. Also, this may not work for you guys, and that's fine, but if there's a lot of news in a week, some bonus episodes would be very great. Well, not this week. I wouldn't expect it, but maybe if you guys get a lot of shit going on, would be a great treat for your fans, me in particular, to have a little something extra, even if it's 30 minutes since it's just a bonus episodes. Thanks for giving me shit to listen to. Well, thank you very much for that email. I appreciate the time you taking the time out to message us.
Yeah, it's good.
With some of the thoughts. I like the idea of having maybe a little trivia question, maybe on a slower week, because this one was a hectic one, but usually what happens, we get a hectic one, and then we get a real slow one the next week, which sucks, because I don't want to put off things we're talking about this week, because it might be irrelevant next week. What if Deadman Mode closes?
What if RS3 becomes the new overlord? We're all going over there.
They just totally take off all the microtransactions and bring them here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have talked about the Iron Man segments because they were kind of fun. I felt they were unique. It was supposed to be the gimmick of the show originally, and then we just didn't have time. That is kind of on the back burner before we figure out what else, if we're ever going to bring that back, or when we are. Would like to, though, because it was fun, but I do feel like it works. It works as a YouTube video as well, which takes a little bit more time, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess stay tuned for more information if we do bring that back. And yeah, I am surprised that we haven't got more complaints about the lengths of the episodes, because they do go on. This one especially has gone on really fucking long. I guess it just happens. And I mentioned before, I start getting like the sweaty palms when we start getting like 2.5 hours, getting near that 3-hour mark.
Yeah.
And I think that's just me when I listen to other podcasts, because most of my podcasts are that I listen to just at work and stuff. They're most of the times they're 3 hours is like the max. Like, I listen to Joe Rogan, and very seldomly do they go over 3 hours. So then I just start thinking, like, shit, 3 hours is a long time. You know, you don't want people getting burnt out.
Yeah.
And for bonus episodes, we have discussed some things.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to stay tuned for that one, because there are some... When we start releasing bonus episodes, there starts to become some issues with uploading them, which we will probably get into in the future. But yeah, we have some ideas, I guess, in the works. But yeah, thank you again for writing in. I think we hit all the talking points for that one.
I do like the quizzing. I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah, we did that twice, didn't we?
Yeah.
You did one and I did one. I remember when I did it, it was so, like, in my head, it was going to work so much better, and it was such...
You're like, what is the
shit
value of my item in my bank? I'm like, I don't fucking know. These are impossible.
The problem was, I was like, you have 5 seconds to answer it, but also 5 seconds for me to say the question.
Yeah. It was like lightning rounds or some shit.
Yeah, and I'm like stumbling through my question, or I'd say it too fast, and you're just like, I didn't understand what you said. You need to slow it down. I'm like, you don't got time for me to say it slow.
What is the price of diamond plate skirt?
And you filled that one. You didn't answer quick enough. This motherfucker.
And okay, next one.
So yeah, good times. But yeah, thanks again for writing in. One more thing to talk about before we get on out of here. Our Blacksmith Bhooley is having another event. So just a little teaser for this episode, but the event is for 3 different party hats made of metal. That's right. They're on plaques. Red, white, and green. Good Christmassy colors. If you would like to see a picture, check out our Discord on the post he made on the events channel. Hopefully I can remember, but I will post them on Twitter if I don't forget. Sometimes I say that, then I forget. That's just the way she goes. But more information on how you can win that in the future and when exactly the event's going on. So yeah, thank you to Bhooley for having this other event. All right, anyways, that's it for this episode. If you want to get in touch with us, you can hang out with us in game at WildCC, or just WildCC in game. Our Twitter is @TheWildernessRS. Our Facebook is facebook.com/TheWildernessPodcast. Our email is thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. Discord, posted on Facebook, Twitter. Deagin's got some things.
Twitch and Twitter, DeaginRS.
There it is. That's it for this episode. Again, thanks for hanging in there. Oh.
Wait. We have a song request for this outro.
Okay, cool.
Can you hook us up with some of that fanfare?
Some fanfare. Is this coming from requested from you or?
No, it's requested by a listener. Forget his name. I meant to write down his name.
Oh, jeez, anonymous.
He's gonna go by anonymous. So I put it in RuneLite and I accidentally deleted it, and then I forgot, and I like put it in our show notes, but I didn't put his name in it. It's a whole mess.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well,
thieving did this to me.
Well, we apologize for that one. We will give a shout out next episode. So thank you for fanfare. This is the song that is unlocked in Falador, composed by none other but Ian Taylor. That's it.
Yeah, I think his name's Wax Tap. I'm sorry if I'm leaking your info. It might not even be the right person, but I hope it is.
Just pick someone.
I could just be like naming some random guy that was like at the GE, and everyone starts harassing him, saying that was the worst or best song ever.
Zezma. I think it was Zezma.
Yeah.
The silent listener. All right.
Yeah.
So fanfare, here we go. Thanks so much, guys, for listening. Next week, oh, wow, we're halfway there. Living on a prayer. Episode 92 next week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Till then.
Have a good one.